face.
Then I'm a kid rocking up and down your block with a bottle of scotch and watch lots of crotch. Buy a yacht with a flag saying chillin' the most. Then rock that bitch up and down the coast. Give a toast to the sun, drink with the stars.
It's so stupid. Well, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Mr. Hayden. You know what?
How we doing?
Look at that. Look at that.
Whoa.
You got technology.
Oh, wait. Oh, I got this going here. Just a second. Back this up.
I'm in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
That should be for the live. Oh, for the to be on the show or the
Sean, send me the link so I can share it to my network so people can watch. And
let's see here. Oh, here, look. I'll just do it this way.
I asked him for the link. He keeps sending me the StreamYard link. It's like, man, I'm here.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, here. You want? Well, can you do it on the comments then, or no? Is that easy or no?
I don't know. No.
Okay.
I was just going to share it. Are we live right now? Hey, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Professional.
I'm taking over today. John's hanging out by the fireplace on a blanket. So how you doing, Bobby? Welcome to the show.
Just working my ass off lately.
Yeah. What are you doing? Is cousin cold?
Oh no, I mean I'm retired Army and I work for the Navy now, and the fleet doesn't sleep. So
Oh, gee whiz. How's that work? Retired Army, worked for the Navy.
Civilian contractor now.
That's cool.
Yep. So
Right,
making that good
deal. Now I
contract
got it
money.
right.
There you go.
Yeah.
John's got it all hooked up.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's the one.
did you notice the thumbnail? I made that. It took me like an hour just to add stupid little fans on there. Just so you know.
I like it.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to start off. Does anybody in the world understand what gratitude is or gratefulness?
Yeah.
Because Mr. Havens, out of his own pocket, is blessed enough to throw a Star Wars convention, something he has a passion for and wants to share with others. And we go there, it's like family. It's like no other convention I've ever been to, and everybody else says the same thing. He invites people to enjoy the convention with him, and others would.
Hey, Donna.
Star Wars Theory, who is not just a YouTuber, he is the biggest Star Wars YouTuber on the internet.
Yep.
I'm watching his video. I was just watching his video. It just finished.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand any of this. If you don't like him,
I know exactly what's going on.
Wait, Don, let me just finish here. If you don't like him or you don't agree with him,
don't watch.
Walk past his table. You don't have to talk. You don't have to stand in line to get to somebody else and have to go through it. I don't get any of this, and I appreciate what you're doing, Mr. Havens, and stand your ground, which I wouldn't think of you not doing anything else.
Well, the thing is I've gotten lots of nice messages from people and fans and stuff like that are like, hey man, he's done nothing wrong and this, that, and the other thing. And you know what? I go, oh, I hear you, man. Like the thing is we look into it, it's not like we didn't look into anything. And, we would never have somebody that like what people accuse him of on comment threads or online. We would never have someone like that. So obviously we looked into it. I think what's happened is there's been a confusion because some of his fans may have said something that are bad, but I mean, I can't be held responsible for every single. What if somebody gets into a car accident or a DUI or something in 6 months from now and they have an ICCC shirt on? How is that my fault? You know what I mean? And that's what he's getting. That's what he's getting strung up for, because I really looked, because you guys know me. I mean, if there's someone with a real issue or somebody that feels harassed or unsafe or anything like that, I look into it so hard, and I have my team look into it. And I have literally, I told John on the phone, I was like, dude, all right, here, breaking news. Ready? I don't listen or watch many podcasts. I listen to Sinatra and I watch Star Wars. I've watched literally 80 billion hours of podcasts in the past 2 weeks because the reason why is with Star Wars Theory. First, I asked the leadership team, I go, well, what do you think of this before I make a final decision? And they're like, well, you know, he's had some divisive stuff. And I was like, all right, I'll look into it. So we started looking into it. And what's happened is it's only like random articles on like Rolling Stone or whatever, where they say that a fan of his said in a comment, blah, 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 blah. So he is racist, misogynist, hates women, blah, 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 blah. And it's not true at all. It's completely insane. So what I've said the entire time is, hey, listen, if you have anything actionable, give me a timestamp, shoot me a link. I mean, this guy, like with these 4 billion hours of YouTube I've watched in the past, like I was even on your thing because I was clicking through YouTube and I said, hey, you know, but I'm hardly ever on YouTube. Just if I have to like fix something and I don't know how to fix it, I go to YouTube. Like that's what I use it for. But I don't have like YouTube paid. I don't like watch podcasts. I don't like watch walking tours of Istanbul. It's not for me.
He is guilty of one thing
Well,
that is serious, and you can look this up.
Okay.
He thinks that the Revenge of the Sith is better than Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that's insanity. That's one thing I want to say. He does have
Yeah.
many views that are not my particular views, but that's a wonderful thing about Star Wars. If we all love the same exact parts of Star Wars, we would literally have nothing to say to each other.
Nothing
We'd
to
sit
talk
there and
about.
you'd be like, you like Obi-Wan? And it's like, yeah, he's my favorite too. Oh, that's great. Like, no, man, I like Darth Vader because he's got a cool helmet. You know what I mean? And that's what we do as Star Wars fans. So what happened is it was just some fans of him were like, some opinion writer for Rolling Stones trolled through 8 billion like comments
yeah.
and found like one person commenting something horrible. And you know what? That's the internet. I mean, the internet, I'm sure that you guys get horrible comments on your videos. I've done videos. Oh my God, the kind of comments I get, the PMs I get. So, I mean, this poor kid, man, he's way younger, and I feel bad for him because, well, I don't feel bad for him because he's got a Lamborghini, but I feel bad for him because it's like, why can't you let him do it? I mean, he keeps people engaged in the Star Wars thing. It's wonderful. So I looked into it. I have watched every single video. I have watched every single clip, anything anybody has sent. And I have seen literally absolutely nothing this guy has done wrong. And I mean, I've even seen him like he's eating sushi. Like I would die if my life was online like that. Like he's everything, every single thing he does. I'm surprised they don't have him like going to the bathroom because it's like everything he does on a day-to-day basis is online, So, I mean, if you'd have anything actionable on him, you'd already have it or you'd already be showing it. And here's the big hook. You ready? He's not a guest star. He wanted to buy tables at the convention. I was just like, holy crap, Star Wars Theories is coming and put up a picture. And then everybody just flipped out. Like I went out there and found the most divisive, horrible person, but he's not. He's like a nice guy. So honestly, whatever stars aligned or moons aligned or planets aligned to make this happen, I am so happy that he found this con so I could learn about him because I had no idea. But I'll tell you what, man, as of this point right now, unless anybody shows me anything actionable ever, of course, I will look. I do. I look. My eyes are falling out of my head with how much I have looked. There's nothing on this guy. Yeah. So the thing is the base principle that the Imperial Commissary was built on 10 years ago for collecting, buying, selling, and trading toys. The main principle was everyone is allowed to play. If you do something horrible, if you do something wrong, if you steal, cheat, whatever, yes, you're asked to leave. But until you do, I'm not going to take a random's word for it where you go, show me the timestamp or show me anything actionable. And they say, do your own research. Listen, I do my own research all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's what I do. So I've looked and looked and looked. I see absolutely nothing actionable. Every time I have talked to him, he is a sweetheart. He's super nice to me. We have fun chats, fun conversations. I think he's going to do great. And I think that us together, once we meet, I think we're going to do great things for the Star Wars community. Because see, the thing is he has the reach to the young people, and I have the rules where, hey, listen, man, I don't care. Go ahead and try to cancel me. You're not going to cancel me. It doesn't matter. I throw a party. I invite my friends, and it's turned into inviting more friends. I don't care if you come. I don't care if you don't come. If you're my friend, I want to know why you don't want to come. But if your reason for not coming is because of some conjecture on some Rolling Stone post about somebody's fan, dear God, don't come, because God forbid somebody gets a DUI with an ICCC t-shirt on 6 months from now. I don't want you knocking on my door.
And one of my other things is the things that they write in chat, would you say that to his face? I'm guessing not.
No, never in a million. Well, you know what I like, man, I think is the funniest, because you're like, oh, how do you stay positive? Because I read it, and some of these people is just like, oh my God. But I read it, and one of them was, thanks, Pelletieri, I appreciate it, brother. That's a guy who always buys a VIP ticket and then it just works all weekend. He's nice. So there's a supporter. I love you, man. But what happens is I just, man, I will never let some outside influences push this around. I mean, they have watched me for 5 years. I mean, not for 7 years. We've been doing it for 7 years, but for 5 years, because nobody cared about us the first 2 years. But they've watched me for 5 years push away tons of money, millions of dollars, and say, you can't have ICCC. ICCC is for the fans. The whole reason why I started this was for the fans. You know what I mean? It was for people who were sick and tired of paying ungodly amounts of money to be treated like garbage by the giant corporations. That's See, I've talked about it on here before.
I get trolls in my chat also. Sundowner. He's in.
Oh, dude, somebody, I was telling you, somebody wrote on the chat. They wrote, what was it? It was, oh gosh, I can't remember it. But I found it to be so hilarious because it was just, it made no sense. You know what I mean? I'll think of it. Keep talking.
I actually don't believe that any of those people have ever even been to an ICCC con.
There's one guy. He told me 3 weeks before he wasn't coming, and he has been on every post for like 3 days. And he keeps going, just F you and go ahead and F and block me. And I go, I don't block nobody, man. Say what you want, but I'm not responding to you anymore.
Somebody that actually went to?
Yeah, he's been a couple times. But that's the thing. So obviously I've gone back and forth with him for days being like, hey, listen, man, just really go look. I understand that you've gotten caught up in this thing where you feel that, and I know for him, it is true. You know what I mean? The problem is it's only true because you got confused. And that's okay. We all get confused. I've picked fights with people that I'm best friends with now. You know what I mean? It's like, there should always be forgiveness. There should always be second chances. And you should always really look, because it's all out there. Like literally, there could not be someone easier to research. The funny thing is I did see his video today. Yeah. And as excited as I am that the ICCC logo has now been seen by 3.3 million people.
Nice.
I'm super thankful for that. But
on his channel, I just watched his video. Have you seen the video yet?
Yeah, that's he really.
He's like, I really don't care what you guys say because you got the place sold out for us.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't knock the doors off it, because it's it really needs somebody like that to care about it and to notice it, so a lot more people do notice it. Because that's the thing, it's really tough. And I mean, I'm not trying to make any money off this thing, but it sure would be nice if I stopped losing it. You know what I mean? And somebody like that helping could really make that happen. And but the thing is people have accused me of everything, man. Do you know what they're accusing me of? They go like this. Here's the thing. There's a bunch of comments, and they go, how could you give him free tables when I have to pay for my table? I go, haven't you ever, when you walk in and you plug your phone into the booth that says Fox on it? Like, do you know why that's there? It's because they give me a bunch of money in advertising and I give them booth space. That's how advertising works for every event in the history of the world ever. And they're just screaming at me for it. And it's like, are you kidding me? I'm getting the best deal in the world. I'm giving this guy a few booths and he's giving me 3.3 million people that watch Star Wars.
Okay.
Now,
And on top of
If
that,
he was a bad guy or if he did anything they are accusing him of, and I could find it, I would have told him goodbye.
but
But,
even
man,
on
the-
top of that,
The fact that he isn't, I will fight to the death for him. You know what I mean? I will say absolutely not. Show me some proof. I don't care. Try to cancel me. Try to do this. Try to do whatever. But we're rolling along because we're ICC Con and everyone is welcome here.
it's your circus and your monkeys. You can do whatever you want.
That's it, man.
I don't understand.
I told you. I'm going to just go get a bunch of Ninja Turtles. We got to have all Ninja Turtle guest stars now because of the Star Wars people that are angry at me. Watch. I told you. I was talking to John. I'm like, dude, I've had a zoo. I've had a helicopter rides. I've had a demolition derby. This is not like, there is no like company behind this because the company would be insane. This is some guy that likes to throw a sick party that just people come.
Yeah, and then people have to rip it down. I just don't understand it. I really don't.
Yeah.
I need to purchase my tickets because now I'm scared that I won't.
Why? Oh, yeah.
Got my room and tickets all
I
reserved.
got the room. I just haven't got my tickets because I haven't decided which days I'm going to go.
It is crazy. Nick Palmer's a nice guy, man. It is crazy. You know what? Like, all right. Andrea was driving home. Andrea got this electronical vehicle, so she's driving, right? And so I'm sitting in the passenger seat, obviously on two phones, you know. And
you bought her an electric car.
yeah, she did. Well, it's whatever. What are you gonna do? Hey, happy wife, happy life. But so what I did, right, is I'm on the phone and I go to my Instagram and there's like 245 hearts. And like I looked at my Instagram maybe an hour before that. You know what I mean? But I guess he put out that video and now it's just brrr. It's really crazy, man, the kind of reach he has. But you know what was funny? Yes, I did watch the video, Donna, and in there he literally said, I have a $20,000 bounty. I will pay it. I will wire transfer it, PayPal it, Venmo it for anyone who can find where any proof of this. So, I mean, if he's offering $20,000 bounties and nobody's claiming it, it's because there's no proof. And if there's no proof, I mean, this is insane. It's screaming at somebody for murder that there's no body.
Yeah, that's a good way to, yeah.
So that's why I'm glad he found us, because we're probably one of the only conventions in the world that would be like, I looked and I don't see anything. Show me something. Because that's always been the ethos of this. That's always been the plan. And I'll tell you what, if we were corporate, he'd be gone.
I do
because of all the heat. They don't want heat. They don't want that.
Corporations.
I do feel bad for Star Wars Theory in this way, though, after watching this video today. Because he says he has all these conventions all lined up for the rest of the year. Life doesn't matter after ICCCC for him. I'm just saying.
I know, right? Well, that's the thing, man. I think he's going to see it and just be like, what? Because it's so different. It's not a con, but you can't just say crazy Star Wars party for nerds sleepover because you'll go to jail.
Yeah.
It's true. It's so true.
Yeah.
That's why I can't wait to go again. I'm excited. I was on the fence because it was so close to last year's.
We had to get May back. October was horrible because everybody's like, kids are back in school and don't you have any horror stuff? Because it's Halloween time. So even the locals were like, I want to go to something horror. And I'm like, I don't like horror because it scares me. So
very true. That is a very true statement.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I can't wait to go. I was like, I was on the fence for a little bit there. But then once I found out that Bobby and John and Matween and even Sundowners, he's talking about coming around, and I just want to see my boys. I think they're fun to hang out with, and you know.
Plus, you're gonna want to meet all the Ninja Turtles, Donna. I know it. So.
No, I don't.
You're really gonna have to come out of your shell for that one.
But you know what? You know, one thing that I want is, and I hope that he doesn't sell out before.
Careful, Don. It's PG, though. Just so
I want a Theory Saber. I
Nice.
really want one. So I'm
Are you willing to work for it?
They seem to be really great sabers. I mean, we've made sabers for ICCC and they seem top quality like those.
Yeah, I got two, but the batteries go dead so fast.
Oh yeah, you got to get them off Amazon.
That, Donna, I got no
Yeah.
comment on that.
You can get them off Amazon. Those same batteries, and they're like $3.
Stop it, John. Bad boy.
Yeah, I thought you women had like a drawer full of batteries. DC 9-volt C batteries.
Diesel engine.
Where is it? I usually have it right here on the desk. Oh yeah.
Oh, is that the one with the kickstart?
Yeah,
No.
definitely grab those. Yeah, grab them off Amazon. When they die, and then the next one will hold charge. But they're so cheap, that's why. It's essentially a Duracell you could recharge.
Yeah.
So are the guest lists done, or you still got more to reveal?
I told you, I'm bringing all the Ninja Turtles now.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I saw them last year.
Where are
I
you?
saw
Chris?
them. I saw them last year in what was it called? It was in Tennessee.
Nice.
What is it called?
Oh, Chattanooga?
Yeah, I can't think of the name. I saw them there, or some of them. There was like 3 of them. They also had.
No, I'm going to get all the Ninja Turtles. Here's the thing that people don't get is I
Mr. Westbrook.
just do it. I'm telling you, John knows down there. He has no doubt. I'm going to figure it out. I wonder if they're even available.
Oh,
We're going to figure this out.
I have no.
Because now this is like a sticking point for me. Because you know what?
I'll be surprised if they're not there. To be quite honest with you, at this point.
Yeah. We're going to figure it out. But no, there are more guest stars coming, John, to answer your question. I'm sorry.
I can ask you know how I feel about it. I just.
No, there are more guest stars coming.
See, I didn't care for some of the later Star Wars stuff, but if you had anybody from Acolyte or any of these, I would be like, I don't care. I don't have
Oh, to be honest, here, I'll be straight up honest with you. I'm going to be totally honest, like I always am on this podcast. I can't afford the people from Acolyte. They want more money than they're going to make, and I don't feel like paying them $20,000 a piece to just come hang out in Nashville.
Did you know that it's $500 and something to get Luke Skywalker? What's his name?
$700 if you want to put it on a lightsaber.
$800
Mark Hamill.
without pants.
That's it. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, it's not worth that much to me.
That's why we don't run a corporate convention.
Yeah.
You kidding? Mark Hamill would cost me $1.5 billion on a private jet
That's insane.
That's crazy.
for a weekend.
Would you have to throw in a belt for his pants? Because apparently he has a problem keeping them up lately.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, I did see that.
Well,
That's all right. That happens. What are you going to do?
BAFTA awards.
I don't want to pick on him, man. What if my pants fall off one day on TV? I'm going to leave him
I know,
alone.
I
So
know.
It's
feel bad
happened to
for
me.
him.
I mean,
you can't pick on a guy for the pants because God knows I'm a pretty big guy. I don't want my pants falling down on stage, and I happen to be on stage randomly, so I'd be like, "Haha, you deserve it, karma." And I'll be like, "Listen, I never picked on him."
Man.
So the 90% all set, or 100%, or
What, for guest stars?
well, for the whole thing.
No, not 90%. No, I work all the way until the show, through the show, and then I pass out and go fishing.
Nice. Nice.
90% 3 months before, man. I wish I was 90% done. I'd say vendor booths are almost 90% done. So if you're really hankering on vendor booths, go get them. I don't know what's going to happen with the Star Wars theory thing, but I mean, I don't know if everybody that just went on my Instagram buys tickets. I don't know how quickly it'll, because I've never had anybody there is nobody close to this big. Like even guest stars and stuff don't have 3.3 million followers.
That's insane to me. I just can't even fathom.
Yeah,
that.
his audience is huge.
It's massive, and it's the exact target demographic.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going to happen with this. We'll take care of it. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out no matter what, and it's going to be great. And you know what? If by some reason God comes down and helps us out and makes this thing packed, we're going to make it so much bigger and better every year. And then we'll throw the 1.5 at Mark Hamill, and I'll tell him he's got to autograph every single badge for free. because it won't matter at that point. But right now it does matter. But somebody like this is, I mean, it's crazy, man. I don't know. I'm a social media person. I have possibly like 100,000 in my network between all the different things I do.
Oh.
And that is just mind-bogglingly busy. I cannot imagine what his day-to-day life is. And he writes me back on text message. I don't know how he does it, you know?
Boycotts. Hi, Cece.
But here, to be fair, I have picked on Luke since the dawn of time because I don't feel that Luke was a good pilot. I feel he was extremely excessively whiny. And I also feel that R2-D2 was the linchpin of the entire movie.
True story.
But the thing is I know people like Luke, and guess what? That is totally cool too.
That's a lie. That's a lie right there.
It is. You can like Luke. I don't care. You look like Luke. You look like what Luke would keep in his pocket.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, man.
R2-D2 saved the day every time.
Every time, dude. Literally every time. It could have been any meatbag. I could have been in there. You know what I mean? Any human thing to sit in the front of the cockpit. R2 can even fly the X-Wing.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Unsung hero.
Yeah, he was going to land it, remember, in Dagobah? And he's like, switch it over to manual R2 or whatever, and then crash it in a pond.
You know, on aircraft, I was an aircraft mechanic and a jet engine mechanic in the Air Force.
Nice.
Every place that I ever worked, you would in every place that people work on aircraft, you know what the number one thing that they have? They'll have a toy R2 or a poster, but there's always an R2.
Yeah, because he fixes
there's
it.
an aircraft being fixed, there's an R2 not too far away.
I love that.
True story.
I believe it.
Cool.
Mr. Fix-It, R2-D2.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But he's the
Wait,
ultimate. He's the ultimate mechanic. He's the in-flight mechanic. He's the
he could do it all for sure.
Yeah.
Luke's dad was whiny too. That is so true.
Sure enough, he was.
No,
Not to be that guy. I mean, but, yeah.
Star Wars theory. He'll tell you his favorite person in all of Star Wars is Anakin. That's his favorite.
That's mine.
And that's okay too. That's what I'm saying. Even I don't agree with that. I mean, I don't agree with that. But
I still want to say
that's okay that he likes it. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what happens is he doesn't like some things and he likes other things. And I don't understand why people always want everyone to think the exact same way they do. That's boring.
That would be boring.
It's so boring. I want people to think different ways because that's how you have fun conversations. That's like interpersonal communication 101. You know what I mean?
Some people buy cool cars. Some people buy electric cars.
Hey, man. It happens. It's not like it's a Kia or something, man. Not that there's anything wrong with a Kia, because I've had a Kia before. It's a good car.
We're getting nice cars. Some of those are nice. Yep.
I'll tell you what, she was test driving them. Here's a funny story. So have any of you been in the Tesla Plaid thing?
I refuse.
Okay. So Andrea took one for a test drive. Ready? Andrea took it's like the fastest car in the world or whatever. Andrea took one for a test drive, right? So I'm like, all right, Andrea never goes fast. So I'm like, all right, we're at a stoplight. I'm like, step on the gas as hard as you can because it's got this Plaid mode. And I put it in the Plaid mode. And I was like, I just want to try it out. Okay. And so I'm talking to Andrea like this. And she jams on the gas. It put me in the back so hard. My neck hurt. My back hurt for like a day. It was the fastest, most jarring, scary, intense thing I've ever done. So just FYI, go to your local car dealership and give one a test drive for fun. And, but I can't imagine purchasing something like that. Because what if you like sneeze?
Yeah.
You're like, achoo, and your foot goes down, and then you like
Light speed.
can't move your face anymore. Like, it was crazy, man. I've never seen something like it. But yeah, that was a electric car buying story. But we did not get a Tesla either. So because that was like, dear God, man, it's too fast, too much.
So the new venue, obviously working out so far. All great.
Yeah, dude, it's great, man. We did a walkthrough the other day with security and some other folks, and got some video as well for the leadership team, so they start knowing where they're going and what they're planning. The venue's pro, man. The lobby is sick. It's 3-4 times bigger than the last one we were at. It's massive, and the cool thing is, all right, it has the big hotel, right? And the hotel is like the tower or whatever. But then right underneath it, you walk out of the lobby, and there's the convention. Like, it's all attached, and underneath, it's awesome. It's one giant space. And the wonderful thing about it is, unlike the Sheraton was great, but it's way too small for us now. But the Sheraton, the thing was it was like up on a hill, like a mile and a half away from literally everything. I mean, the closest thing was that Ferrari dealership that's randomly there for no reason. How weird is that? It's like the only thing there, and it's like touching the airport. Yeah. But the wonderful thing about this new place is you walk out the door, and to the front, there's a Dunkin' Donuts and a Starbucks. There's the other, how I have the overflow hotels. Those are right there, like right outside this, because it's set up. It's on Convention Center Boulevard, so it's a legit convention center.
Yeah.
And you can get Starbucks or you can get Dunkin' Donuts. You go over to the right, there's a full size, like legit mall. You know, like it's great because of all the things that you have access to on top of just the size of the venue, how much more parking there is, how the parking is right there. I don't even have to run buses from the parking lot because there's a parking lot that's like flat and level in there. You know,
this place was cheaper than Sheraton?
Cheaper than what they raised the other place to. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, how do they know what's coming for the lobby though? For the room sales?
Yes. I actually, what I do is I warn them. The room sales, for the record, is not part of ICCC. I go to bed, act right, don't eat each other up or anything, because I'm not doing it.
I'm taking my computer around and writing nasty things on the keyboard as I do.
There you go. But no, I don't do that. But yes, of course, man. I mean, I'm not that guy. The reason why I rent the entire hotel before I open up the room block link is not because I like just wasting money 6 months, 8 months ahead of time. It's because I want it to be full of people that understand what's about to happen. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I make sure to purchase the entire hotel before telling you guys where to get your hotel room. So they know. They have been made aware. I was like, they come out, they do lobby sales. It's going to be 24/7 in here, blah, 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 blah. They're like, oh, that's great. We have happy hour. They can each have 2 drinks. I'm like, listen, I'm out of here by like 6 p.m. Do you? But, you know, hey, whatever. So, yeah, they give you 2 free drinks and then you give you a free breakfast. Murfreesboro is a great place. Downtown Nashville, I was thinking about that. The hook with downtown Nashville is they have the Music City Convention Center. It's massive, right? It's awesome, massive. The sodas are $20. You go outside to get a burger, it's like literally $40 because it's downtown Nashville. Parking is $45 per day. And then you also have to pay $45 to park your car at your hotel downtown. Downtown is wonderful, but if you live anywhere near Nashville, you don't go there unless you're going there to go downtown. You know what I mean? If there's an event or you're going to watch Andrea Bocelli at the freaking, all right, there you go. There's the problem with me right there. That's who went to my mind first, and I live in Nashville, Tennessee. If you're going to see Travis Tritt at the Bridgestone Arena, fine. If you're going to watch a Predators game, great. You know, but if you're going on a bachelorette party, Nashville is wonderful too. But if you're trying to like park there and eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner there, you will go broke so quick it'll spin your head. You know, so I don't want to do that to the attendees either. I don't want anyone to have to take out a second mortgage to come to this con. I've told you all, my ultimate dream is for people to make enough money buying, selling, and trading with friends as they're walking around in order for it to be free for everybody. You know, so that's why, yes, they're definitely aware of the room sales, but also it has nothing to do with me at all.
I bought an extra ghost. And the only reason I bought an extra one is because I wanted to make sure I got the Kanan figure. So I might bring that down there. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how many people are looking for a ghost. I think Andrea has 2 of them at the shop, but they're like,
oh really? See, that's why I think I might just keep it until.
Well, they screwed up with it, man. What they did is they slapped Ahsoka all over the box instead of Rebels. And if you bought that thing, you bought it for the Rebels, not because you liked Ahsoka.
That's true. I love Ahsoka, but that's true though.
Yeah, but you didn't buy the Ghost for Ahsoka.
Yep.
You bought it for the Rebels. Come out with a Chimera for Ahsoka. I'd buy that. You know?
I wish they would make her shuttle, the Jedi shuttle. That's cool. I'd like to have that.
Yeah.
Not a bad ship.
I'm a big ship.
Yeah, it's not a bad ship. I'd rather take the ship from the Skeleton Crew, to be honest, man.
Okay, which one?
The one after getting eaten.
Or they could slide it out.
Yeah, it was a little sleeker afterwards.
It was awesome. After it got eaten, it was awesome. But before it got eaten, it was great. So pre-eaten, but also escape pod ready.
Yeah. I think if they could make one slide out, that'd be sweet.
Well, there's that prototype thing that they had for the Falcon where it had like the escape shuttle on the front. You ever see that Kenner picture from way back in the day?
Yeah.
I actually bought a custom of that fits in the Falcon. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think the next HasLab will be? Any idea? What would you
I don't know, man. They have to pick something that either isn't going to be obsolete by the time it comes out or that, I don't know, man. Like, the Ghost is very heavy and very big. The sail barge is very heavy and very big. I mean, I don't know where these people are living, but I'm running out of space.
Oh, tell me about it. What I know it comes up a lot is the shuttle Tydirium.
Yeah, that would be awesome. If they made a massive shuttle, yeah, they'd get my money again. I can't lie. I love the shuttle. You know, I have like 5 vintage shuttles in my collection.
Oh, yeah,
I have a box one, a Letty one, a graded one graded in flight mode. It's bonkers. Like they're so big and obnoxiously large. I love them.
My favorite chips I have up there.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, because I got the original one and I got the
FAO Schwartz
Target one.
Oh, which one? The FAO Schwartz one?
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it's got like it looks exactly like the original, except it has the weathering.
Yep. Oh, I thought. That's what I got. Oh, you know what I got for FAO Schwartz is the Famba.
Bomba.
The real big from Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah, you know what? Andrea has one of those at the shop. I was just messing with it literally like 3 days ago.
Yep, I bought that.
It's pretty cool, man. The way the droids all come out and stuff.
No, this is the animal.
Oh, then I don't know what's going on.
The thing's probably that big.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that was a FAO Schwartz. Nick was going to jump on here, but I know he's
in the chat.
He had a let me do it again.
There you go.
Work thing.
Nice CCC for life. I love it.
So
but no, people have been super duper supportive, man. Honestly, it's been like 10 people that have been the loudest.
Yeah.
And it's no big deal, man. Everybody could have their own opinions. I just wish that people would just take a breath and go really search. And they could do the research for themselves. And I'm not trying to super defend this guy. I don't know. Like, everybody made me watch an awful lot of YouTube for there to be nothing. So I am I'd say the only thing that has me grumbly at all is that I literally spent like 40, 50 hours of my life on YouTube, even on the second monitor, just running it. And it's like, not for me, but, you know, people love it.
It has to just come down to jealousy, right? I mean, that's all it can be.
I have no idea. No, honestly, man, I think what happened is I think we're in a culture nowadays where people don't actually read the article. They just read the headline. And headlines are written in such an untruthful way that
usually clickbait titles.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I understand why they do it. It's the nature of the beast. I understand it. It's just not for me, you know?
The news, everything. Yep. Nobody.
But it's just, and it's on both sides and everything. If there are sides, you know, if it has to be a politics thing, which people sometimes make it, fine. But this isn't even that. It's literally the only thing that people keep sending me is a Rolling Stone article where literally it never mentions him saying anything wrong. And it says that one of his fans said something. And it's like, you kidding me? Do you know how many comments on my posts I get? How many comments you get on here? Can you be held socially responsible for every single comment that someone on free YouTube types?
Especially not Donna's.
Yeah. Poor Donna. Donna,
Yeah.
watch out. They're coming for you. I'm telling you.
She gets out of hand.
All right, so what about oh, it is ICC for life, right? What
It's IC for life. IC for life.
Talk about that a little bit. How's that going?
Actually, it's wonderful. Just yesterday, I had here. Let me 1 second.
Oh wait, here we go. Wait, before you go, here we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Bad Wolf. LOL. Did you even read the article?
Me?
I'm guessing it's to you. I did not. I didn't read the Rolling Stone.
Yeah, some of it. I perused it.
Oh, let's see.
Actually, I found out perused. He had a guest on that was a psychiatrist that went on a rant about how Star Wars isn't for women. Oh, so he had a guest on.
Yeah, a guest.
And he is culpable for that
remember
guest?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
I-
another thing that's
He says
I'm
that.
sorry, but
he
if
had
that's the
said
response, that's I don't want to be derogatory, so I won't.
on
But
his stream.
I
on
do
his
remember
stream,
that.
He said, oh no, there's a lot of women that are in, it might be a boys brand, but it is definitely for women too.
so
That
Star Wars Theory
said
shut
that
down the guest,
pretty
and they're
much,
mad
yeah.
because the guest was on the show.
Yes.
Seriously, go
Do you know how
back.
many guests I've had on stage? Any one of them could be like Baba Booey, or whatever they want. What are you going to do? And then that's my fault for the rest of my life? That's horrible. So no,
Yeah.
I didn't read the article, but I'm glad I didn't, because that sounds exactly the same as what I'm saying. So
He said it. I mean, his point was it is a boys brand, but it's one of those brands that is there for the women too.
yeah, agreed. Yeah, he didn't shut her down till after. Okay, well,
Right.
so he corrected a mistake possibly,
The
and that's a bad thing.
The link is in the chat, Bad Wolf, if you would like to come on here.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Nick.
Hello,
What's
buddy.
going on, Michael?
What's happening, sir?
How you doing?
Good. Just got done eating. I'm still out of town. That's why I'm not on camera. I'm at Mexican Iron Man's house. We just got done.
Oh, to give him
Very
a
nice.
hug. I love him.
Yeah. She's,
Whatever, Donna. I'm
Yeah,
right here.
we just got done eating some. He made some homemade Chinese food. So yeah, we just got done eating. But so yeah. I jumped in. Yeah.
He makes something other than Mexican food.
Surprisingly,
racist.
I'm the one that made the Mexican dish last week when we were here. I made my famous not loaded nachos, and he's made Chinese and American food.
Yeah. Thanks for making this a racist channel now, Donna.
Yeah.
Thanks for making
Yeah.
this a racist channel now, Donna.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. You can't be doing that, or else no one will have conversations. Don't people like watching videos?
Donna had to have a quiet time.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I dude, that's the way it is out there. It's really crazy.
Okay,
God
so,
forbid you say anything wrong, you know?
You
so
can't.
let's say I said something I truly believed in, and I said something that other people were wrong. Could I not have matured on that or found more information, changed my mind, and have a different opinion at this point? Is that not?
Oh God, I would hope so, or else none of us would be growing as individuals.
Is
Yeah.
there no grace and mercy in this world or forgiveness at all? Or, and I'm not saying even that's what he did, but even I mess up all the time.
He
Yes,
gets to
but-
have his views.
The hook is, it's not even like a mess up. So he had one guest star on the 200 billion hours of video that he's had,
Yeah.
and that one guest star mouthed off in a way that he didn't agree with, because somebody would have sent it to me.
He was very, if I remember correctly, he was very nice about it and just was like, yeah, it is a men's brand, but there are a lot of women that are into it too. So that was
Yeah.
kind of his take.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
He was
G.I.
very
Joe,
nice about it.
G.I. Joe
The
and
thing is, he
He-Man-
has tons of women fans. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think this is correct.
No,
Not as
it's-
much as
it's
Nick
not.
does, though.
True.
But G.I. Joe, He-Man, Transformers, all boy brands also, and there's lots of girls that like that stuff too.
Exactly,
so,
Maxwing.
you know,
But anybody can like anything they want. It still doesn't change the fact that all of us are sitting here talking about some random therapist that was on a random podcast, 5 years ago? This is insanity.
yeah.
What
yeah.
for?
Yeah,
Who cares? I don't even know who the therapist is. Do they want to sit down and do Star Wars trivia and we could find out if they're even a Star Wars fan at all?
Well, she wasn't, and she admitted that. Like,
Then what's the point? So now we have 5 people on here and 10 million people on the internet that are all talking about a therapist that isn't even a Star Wars person. Do you know the kind of horrible things non-Star Wars people have said to me in my life?
Oh yeah, like my ex, she had never seen Star Wars before when we first started dating, and she knew nothing. She thought it was some boy nerd thing, and she was just like, "That's freaking nerd crap. I'm not interested." I'm like, "Just watch it." She loved it. She started buying toys, buying R2D2 cooking pots, freaking Ewok purses, like everything. Like
Star Wars is in no way just for boys. And the thing is, now that I find out that this therapist wasn't even a Star Wars fan, man, I can't. there's nothing I can do with that.
Yeah.
No,
Like, seriously, do you guys remember, like, back in the day, like 15, 20 years ago, where people would pick on you for wearing a Star Wars shirt?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was like last year. Was
So that therapist is one of these people.
Yeah.
That used to pick on us because we liked Star Wars. I don't even care anymore about that. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I saw Theory's video today on it. I thought he did a pretty good video. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to him being there. And out of the post, I think out of the almost 200 people that reacted to the post, it was only like 4 or 5 people that.
It really was, but they just kept commenting and commenting and commenting.
Yeah.
The other thing that's hilarious is I don't think they realize, but the more they comment, the better it is.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what they write, it keeps bumping it to the top. It's like they don't understand how the internet works or something.
But
I don't know.
It's giving it more attention.
Yeah.
We are all grateful a whole lot for their comments because it had Star Wars Theory himself make a video. And like you said, how many millions of people saw that? And I better get my tickets or else I'm going to be SOL.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Well, it's really crazy. Even my phone and my messages and my messengers and everything is just, it's bonkers.
Yeah,
it's bonkers right now.
His line at MegaCon was long.
That was
I
insane.
mean, it was
I
like
saw the videos of it.
Yeah, it was like minimum hour wait just to meet him and say, hey. So having him there is gonna bring so many people.
It's really crazy. Just dude, like, I don't know. Because I have a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people daily and stuff. You know what I mean? I am a somewhat teeny tiny little bitty social media influencer. I have a little taste of it. And what's going on in my messengers and my Instagrams, and it's freaking nuts.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there is looking to be my personal assistant, maybe in 2 weeks I desperately need you if this keeps up.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
But back to his interview. I mean, he has such a platform. Me personally, I would not want to interview somebody that has every belief and desire that I have. That would be boring to me. I want.
Yeah.
Even as a pastor, I would much rather have a conversation with a non-believer than a believer. I want to listen to you. I want to know your thoughts. Why do you think that way? I don't know if that's what they're hung up on. I don't know.
Yeah, the comments I was seeing, they were like just blatant
stupidity.
False.
Calling really bad names.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coma Visions. It's freaking awesome. This hotel, you guys don't even understand. We are like so legit now.
It is
from like our rodeo roots. It is so sick. It's like I'm fired up for sure.
It's a really
I can't
nice
wait.
hotel.
I can't wait to go.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter's not going to go, and now it's probably too hard to get a king size room because I have a double. But oh well.
You can always call them and give it a shot. I know the hotel's sold out, but I mean, maybe there's somebody that's waiting on a 2 queen size room.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Oh, the losing that job with the Hooters.
No, I've done that. I dated 2 Hooters girls, and I dated 3 of those. What was that back in the day?
I lived with 2 Hooters girls. That was a very interesting
Well,
experience.
Tilted Kilt. Did you guys
Oh, I
have
bet.
Tilted Kilt?
I bet it was.
Yeah,
Did you guys have Tilted Kilt?
yeah.
Tilted Kilt.
Yeah.
I
And
came
what-
from Connecticut, man. We didn't have any of that. Closer
Yeah.
Hooters to me was 45 minutes away, and it was garbage. And their wings are garbage. So
I never get
Sorry,
their wings
but-
there.
I've been to
never
Tilted
get their
Kilt
wings.
down in Raleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the-
And they just said Hooters just actually filed for bankruptcy. I just saw a
Bankruptcy,
news article on
Oh,
that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Ah, I
There's
haven't-
this place over here that did that. It's
Did you see the headline? Hooters flopped.
but it's called Party Foul, but it's still there. It's still been there for like 2 years after they did that. So maybe it's not going away. It seems like everything claims bankruptcy and then they end up getting bought out or something. And,
Yeah.
but also, I don't know, man. It's not really been an institution for me since like maybe high school. We went once or twice as high school kids. You know what I mean?
Hooters in Canada.
Yeah,
you know what? Honestly, the last time I went,
It worked for Toys R Us, right?
yeah.
yeah, they kicked us out because they had a 2-drink minimum or something, or maximum. I'm like, are you serious? I'm out of here. That's the last time I went to Hooters. Is America.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's
Twin Peaks is destroying them in that atmosphere of
Twin
restaurants.
Yeah, I went to Twin Peaks in Scottsdale last October, right after ICC.
Yeah, we got one in Birmingham.
Yeah.
So my question is, are the Twi'lek girls coming again?
Oh, the
Which ones?
Skywalkers.
The Ariel Skywalkers? Yeah, they'll be there.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
that was
all
a
he
bunch.
wants. Is it?
That's a
Yeah,
staple.
our circus, they got a bunch of new stuff too. They always tell me, and I'm like, oh, that's great. Sounds unbelievably dangerous. Make sure you have the right insurance. But
Yeah, we sat there and
Murfreesboro
watched
does have a Toots. You want a killer deal on food? Go to Toots. You get the triple sampler. It's like $15.99. It's more food than you could eat. And you
never
can
heard
even
of
pick all your 3 things as the chicken fingers. So you can pick
Oh,
3
wow.
kinds of chicken fingers. It's like, I don't even know how many pieces, 15 chicken fingers for $15.99?
Toots,
with sauce?
huh?
Does it give
It's
you the toots though?
Bonkers cheap. Does it what?
Does it give you the toots?
The Toots? Yeah, man, probably. Yeah, of course. It's delicious food like that, the Toots.
I went to Popeyes last night, and I've never been to one, and it was the grossest thing I've ever put in my mouth in my life.
Yeah, Popeyes rips me up, I'll be
Shut
honest.
up, Bobby.
Oh, my son
Yeah.
loves Popeyes. I don't think I've ever had it.
I like Bojangles. You like Bojangles?
Oh, Bojangles is
Bojangles is
awesome.
awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
god,
Yeah.
I always get the little the family thing that comes with the quart of tea.
Yeah.
and the 2 sides and
Ooh,
yeah.
you want the hack? If you don't like sweet tea, you could
I-
ask them to fill it up with soda for you. Because they got
Oh,
those
really?
jugs in the back.
Huh? I did not know that.
Yeah. Because they got the jugs. They do the sweet tea jugs right there. So they'll
I've
fill it
always
with
had
whatever
some
you want.
Bojangles.
Lemonade. Yeah.
I do like the jugs.
Yeah, I did not know that. I'm about to do that next time.
Yeah, that's the hack. And their breakfast, their Cajun breakfast biscuit. Oh,
Whoa.
Yeah,
dude, it's good.
yeah, their breakfast food is really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, so
Maybe I just ate. Now I'm hungry again.
yeah,
I'm
so-
hungry too. You guys got me for 7 more minutes and I'm going to eat dinner.
We're getting close to
Yeah.
hours, so I don't want to keep you. So, what else you got first for ICCCCCCCC?
Well, I don't know. IC for Life is going to be there. You can stop in the IC for Life booth, check it out, learn about it. We're going to be setting up for an auction for our first in memoriam auction.
So that's all
Um,
set up already then.
You what?
That's all because I think the last time we talked, you were getting close to getting.
No, it's not set up or anything yet. I have the stuff. I picked up the stuff in Florida. It's all in Andrea's warehouse in a separate little section there. And I need locals. If you're local and you want to help me come sort toys. Or sort toys while I'm doing ICCC stuff or getting yelled at by people on the internet.
Nice.
But no, it's going to be good, man. And it'll really take. Hey, there he is.
Phil's my
Look.
ICC buddy.
There he is. That's my convention manager. Phil Brown is a great guy.
Got my ticket reserved.
Oh,
He
that's
comes
awesome.
out every year from California, Phil does, and he gives his time and his treasure to come out to ICCC and help build this.
Yeah,
Totally as a
wonderful.
volunteer. And the wonderful thing about Phil is Phil like runs all the conventions for like, I think it's Rotary Club of America, but I screw it up all the time. So sorry, Phil. But he came out when I first got the rodeo arena, and I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I think I'm going to throw a con. And Phil was like, hey, man, if you need some help, I can help you run a con. And I'm like, really, dude? So, yeah, man, the reason why booths are spaced properly is Phil. The reason why we know what fits in a venue is Phil. The reason why, because see, here's the thing. Me, I'd be like, you can fit 100 tables in there. And he's like, no, dude, you can fit 73. You know what I mean? And that's why it works so well and is spaced so properly. So thank you to Phil. Phil is the convention manager, and he even helps out and runs the leadership team and stuff like that. He's responsible for a lot of blog posts. There's Stephen Hopwood. Stephen Hopwood is absolutely awesome. He is our like EMT helper guy because he's a literal EMT. But Hopwood is wonderful. And yeah, I guess everybody's on here. What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming out. I can't wait to see you in May.
Cool.
Cool.
So the hotel's obviously set. What about the parking? You park there?
The hotel's sold out. You can park there. It's free parking during the day. If you're a hotel guest that's staying overnight, it is $12. So you can't just park overnight for free at the hotel.
Free for veterans?
What's that?
Free for veterans?
I have no idea. You'd have to ask the hotel. I don't get any cut of that. That's their thing. I think the reason why they do it is so they clear out everybody that's there during the day for the hotel guests to sleep at night, which is a good idea, to be honest. I mean, it's only $12. It's heck of a lot cheaper than any hotel in Nashville. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah. I'm actually looking at, I'm going to try finding like a close Airbnb, I think, to the hotel.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. There's a lot of them around there. We also have the host hotel is sold out, but there are overflow hotels on the website, and those ones are close, and they also have free breakfast and stuff like that too. Yeah, man, back in Franklin, the rodeo arena, baby.
Yeah.
I remember.
Echo Base is the reason I went to ICCCCCCCC.
See, now they're out of here. That's it, you guys.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you.
You brought John. That's it. What happened to your fire, John?
I know. I need to poke it. I put one on there.
Yeah. Me and with it being just north of us in Nashville, me and Coach were talking about doing what we're going to do our meetup, and we're like, I see that's the best place for us to do our meetup every year because it's a great convention and it's close. So it was a no brainer for us.
You guys get a lot of people out for your meetups and stuff. It's crazy.
And now I take my family. It's a family-friendly place. I take my family now.
Very family-friendly. Yep.
Class.
Yeah. We actually got a message for Star Wars Theory today, just thanking us for supporting them and stuff during this dumb controversy of people trying to cancel.
It's really dumb.
Yeah.
That's nice that he wrote you, man. That's nice.
Yeah. We've and I saw one of the chats and that I responded to. My Facebook account's deactivated, but I literally reactivated it just to chime in on that post on there. But I literally was just like, this cancel culture thing is just ridiculous, man. If you don't like them, just walk past this booth. You don't gotta talk to them, But there was one person that was talking about how he's toxic and all this other stuff, and I'm like, we had him on our channel. It was one of our biggest streams. It's still on our channel that we've ever had on our channel. And then the very next night, he brought us onto his channel, and we helped raise over $20,000 for kids at St. Jude's. Does that sound like a toxic person to you?
Yeah.
No.
So they've been calling me every name in the book, man. I ain't done nothing wrong.
And I literally said in my comment, I was like, you guys leave Michael alone. He has better things to do than police this nonsense.
Yeah.
I do, man. My darn Boba Fett tower got tapped over a little, so I have like 35 Boba Fetts to stand up, man. I got no time.
His cancer story is amazing. If you haven't listened to it, it is amazing. That's how he got into doing what he's doing, was because he was a teenager sick in bed with cancer, and Star Wars got him through. And it's a wonderful story.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Havens, last word,
Yeah.
because I know I want to be respectful of your time.
Thanks, brother. Me last word?
Yep, last word. It's been an hour. I want to be respectful of your time. So,
What should my last word be?
there are tickets available.
Gee,
Sell
that's
it.
a lot of pressure, man. What if it's my last word?
I'll take I love you, John.
Yeah, no, tickets are available at IC. You can go icnashville.com, iccollectorsconvention.com. Check out IC for Life charity. It's a really good thing for people, and people will dig it eventually once we get it really rolling, but it started. And also, I don't know, man. You know what? For my last words here, I would like to say it's okay if you don't like people and if people aren't exactly like you. Just try to be respectful to everyone, no matter what side you're on. I'm a very civil person, and I'm more than willing to look till I can't see anymore at everything you want me to look at. But just stop just accusing people. And if you're accusing people and you're wrong or there is no evidence of it, then maybe rethink your accusations. Because, Star Wars theory, I didn't know about the cancer story. Like I said, I don't know much about YouTube. But he seems like a genuinely nice person that has made hundreds of thousands of hours of videos about something we love. And there's 3.3 million people that follow him, which means there's probably 10 million people that actually watch his videos. And that means that for those 10 million people, for an hour or so a week or whatever, for the past 10 years, this guy has tried his best to be kind and to talk about what he loves and what you love. And if you don't like the way he says it, that's okay. But I don't know, man. It's not right what they're doing to this guy. No. And they're not even doing it to him. He's like crushing it, and it doesn't even matter. They can scream into the wind till they blew in the face, and it doesn't matter to his bottom line or anything. He is crushing it. Yeah. But just, I don't know, man. Love people more. I mean, have you watched a movie called Star Wars? Because I didn't see anybody in there saying the things that these people have said to me or him in the past 3 days.
Yeah.
So if you're not that kind of fan, then ICCSC is not for you. It is for fans. It's for family. It's for friends. It's for happiness. It's for leave the politics at the door. Man, I don't know. And that's why I'm saying I think most of the people that have commented haven't tried this show, haven't looked at this show, don't know. I mean, the craziest thing is when people on those comments, they're like, whoever's answering your Instagram posts is obnoxious, or whoever's answering your Instagram posts, you better watch out and fire them. And I'm like, listen, dude, I'm like typing to you on my toilet at 4 a.m. This is like a mom and pop convention. It's not my fault it snowballed and it got big. Come and hang out, come play. It's a peaceful, nice place, and it's always going to be a peaceful, nice place. And that's because me and the ICCC security detail is going to make sure it is.
Yeah.
But
great security there, by the way.
Leave your hate away. That's not what this is for. So look. Yeah. Be happy. It's freaking Star Wars. How are you not a nice person if you like Star Wars?
Are you going to have any extra security around Star Wars Theory?
There's always plenty of security, and no one's going to act like that, man. If there's one thing that life has taught me, it's anyone that whines and complains about something they know absolutely nothing about on the internet is not going to show up and do anything ever.
No, that is 100% true, because me and Coach have seen some of our detractors at Icon before, and they talked about how they were going to tell us off in person, and
everybody forgets
a word to me.
Everybody forgets that before this thing, I ran 27, and I still do run 27 groups about collecting Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay. I have dealt with every kind of hate. I'm going to kill you. Everything in my PMs for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, and they, and we always have a list, believe me.
Yeah.
If we have a list, and security has a list, and also we have literal police on scene. You know what I mean? Like, it's the safest convention in the world, because that's always something that's been paramount for me.
Yeah.
And
there's never been any issues ever
no, but also I don't have somebody who looks like they couldn't chase down a packet of peanuts on the ground as the security detail.
That is true.
Well, that was directed right at Couch. That comment right there.
Yeah.
No, it's directed right at every corporate convention in the world, because what they do is they pay enough to check the box, and they don't care whether it's safe or not.
Yeah.
They just want to check the box. So they get somebody who couldn't protect, I don't know, their themselves,
Yeah.
like in a yellow jacket at the door. You've seen them. They're just waving people through with tubs. You've seen them.
Yeah.
And they don't care, and they can't catch anybody or stop anything or protect anyone. It's ridiculous. But I have that because I have wonderful Star Wars people that love this thing and that do it for the love of the game that also happen to be Army Rangers. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, good time. Looking forward to it in May. It's gonna be fun.
Nice, man. I'm excited too. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. And don't worry, I'm still always smiling.
I can't wait to go.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know. Don't worry about it. This is Star Wars. It's for love. It's for happiness. We're gonna be good. And anybody that wants to make it about something that isn't happiness and isn't inclusiveness, that's the crazy thing. They're screaming about inclusiveness, but they're the ones that aren't including others.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. What I do know is that I love this con and nobody else owns any of this. So if you don't like the way I am, then I'm sorry, but
It's going to be great.
you're not going to change my mind. I mean, you can get me actionable information. I will look at everything, and I have. But if you just want to spout off because you hate somebody, it hasn't worked for 10 years on the Imperial Commissary. It hasn't worked for 8 years on this convention, and it ain't going to work for the rest of my life because I am too darn old and too darn grouchy to ever change my value in life, which is every single person should be allowed to play Star Wars, period.
Period.
Yeah, I saw Theory even said threw a challenge out there today. I will pay somebody $20,000 if you can find one thing that I've ever said that's racist, misogynist, sex, any of that. I will pay you $20,000.
And that's the thing. If nobody claims that $20,000, then it's impossibly false. And it's because of freaking stupid headlines that people only read the headlines and then run with. And I'm so tired of that. I mean, why does everybody have to be... I don't know. I don't understand that. I don't understand where it came from, where everybody has to be offended or angry or blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah. You kidding me? I mean, I don't know. I grew up in Connecticut and I was a Yankee fan and most people were Red Sox fans, but it's not like we like blackmailed them or like tried to sink their, I don't know, like say a friend of mine wanted to throw a World Series party for the Red Sox. I'm not going to be like, going on is calling him up and being like, oh, you can't do that because Red Sox are garbage and blah, blah, blah. Who does that? I don't even understand what this is. But listen, if it's just because you're keyboard warriors and you're angry at the world, just stop being angry at the world. It's way better to try to see the good side of things instead of the bad side. And if you're even trying to see the good side of things, then there's no way you could be that. This guy has put out 10 billion hours of information and Star Wars stuff. Like, go watch the other 9,999,999 hours if you don't like that he doesn't like Acolyte. And here, I'll throw this out there right now because I am not owned by Disney in any way. Acolyte was terribly written. It was not a good show at all. The only thing good about it was the hand-to-hand fighting combat was better than any other Star Wars TV show ever or a movie. It just was great. Everything else about it was very, very sloppy. And they took a major character that could have been a major bad guy with Darth Plagueis, and they made him absolutely nothing. And for their villain helmet, they stole that chainsaw face man or whatever from anime. And I don't even know what it is because I'm not young, but if you got a computer in front of you right now, look up Chainsaw Man or Chainsaw Head on anime. It is literally
it's the same
photocopy.
thing. Yeah.
So, I mean... whatever, that's factual information. And if people don't like that, if they liked Acolyte better than anything in the world, great. Do you know how many Red Sox fans there are in this world? Great for them. But I don't have to be a Red Sox fan.
Nope. And let's be honest, there's not a whole lot of Acolyte fans.
Yeah, but it's okay if they want to be, man. You know, there's people that are diehard holiday special, and that's okay too.
Oh,
it's not for me. It's bonkers, but you can like it.
100%.
So anyway, there you go. There's my rant for the night. You got a good rant out of me, guys. I usually don't do that. I'm usually self-contained.
Well, Mr. Havens, thank you very much. Much gratitude. Don't
hope
get
you come
discouraged.
back.
I don't think you are, but
I'll always come back. That's the thing. I'm just some guy, you know. So here I am.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can
You're
get
doing. Really am.
before Icon happens. We'll see if we can get you and Theory on our channel one night.
I do it. You know me, man.
Yeah, hang out, chit chat, talk about IC and talk Star Wars. Talk
Yeah,
about
dude.
stuff
I'll
we
always
love.
talk Star Wars. That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I appreciate you. I am off to eat. Hopwood, I love you. But it is
All right.
not Taco Tuesday, so I ain't eating tacos, Hopwood.
All right, good to see you, Michael.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye.
See ya.
Yeah.
Well, that was nice of him to
Hey,
come on.
that was awesome. Hey,
Good.
hey,
Good.
Good times. Good times.
hey, Nick.
Hey, what's
Tell
up?
Mexican Iron Man he needs to come to ICCC.
I think he is.
Please tell him he has to,
Yeah, I think he is.
and tell him that I still haven't seen his opening of Tron's lightsaber.
Oh yeah. Hey, Mike. Are you still planning on doing a unboxing of Tron's lightsaber? He said he's still planning on doing that.
Okay, I know he's been so
I was
busy.
asking.
I've been watching, and I know he's so busy. Just give him a hug for me and tell him that hi.
Yep, I will do it. Yeah, we're getting ready to watch Reacher season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
right.
good. I
I
remember
started
watching it.
yesterday.
You know what? I did watch the movie. Tom.
Oh, with Tom Cruise. Yeah,
Tom Cruise. Yep, I did watch
the
that.
show is so much better.
Oh, really?
Oh, so much better.
Oh yeah.
The show kills Tom Cruise's movie of Reacher.
Yeah. The can't hold a candle to it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the main actor's political view crap, but as far as him playing Reacher and stuff, and in the writing of the show and the characters, man, it is grade A, top notch.
Yes, sir. I'm going to be there Thursday night, and then I'm going to leave sometime Sunday afternoon. Because then I got to go, because I got to be at work Monday, because I'm leaving again Wednesday for the Indy 500.
Yeah, I'll be up there Saturday and leave Sunday. So I'll just be up there one day since we're not like doing our official meet up there this year. But I'll come and hang out for a day. Maybe drag Coach along if he can make it. I don't know.
It's bigger than you guys now. It's bigger than you guys now because like us three right here, we were gonna go whether you guys show up.
Oh yeah.
Because it's about the community.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Although we want you there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
that's where I was going with it, Donna.
Yeah, we'll we'll make it back to being official at next year's one for sure. But with it being like we just got done having one. Plus, it's right when
nice going, Donna.
What?
Plus,
Couch is out now.
Don't say that, Coach.
Yeah. Plus, it's literally right after Star Wars Celebration. So like Derek Anderson is going to be just getting back from Japan. So next year, next year it'll be we'll have a lot more time to plan things out and all that sort of stuff. So.
What do you got, Rogue? You're awfully quiet tonight.
Oh no, just was taking everything in. Just I can't wait to go. I really can't.
Oh, look at that! Now we got a shit stir in.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's
What's
nighttime.
up, Sean?
It's nighttime. The sun has gone down. Sundowners.
he has that studio
Rotate.
lighting.
Just look at that. Look at him.
Cool
Just look
shades.
at him. Where's the cape? You need a cape.
My wife's wearing it.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, are you going this year,
Wait.
Sundowners, to Icon?
Yep. And
Okay.
I might be bringing somebody with me. So you might want to be there.
Okay, sweet. All right, yeah, you'll have to
Cool.
keep us. Keep
Someone
us
you
up to
know.
date. Okay, all right.
Is it someone that you used to know?
No, it'll be fun because last time I was only there that first night for a while.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you had to drive back. I was like, oh, that sucks. And then you didn't get to make it to MegaCon either. You're the whole reason I've even booked my trip down there, because when you messaged me on it.
Well, my oldest son had the start of his lacrosse, and I didn't know it at the time. And then I was down there for work, and for 4 days, like 2 weeks before MegaCon. So when I told my wife, I was like, well, maybe I can go down there for like a day and come back. And she was like, if you want these doors to be locked, you can do that.
She wears the pants.
Well, Donna, let's not go that far, but I know when to pick my battles. I mean, you can't win every battle.
Yeah, that's why I'm single. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Same here.
Well, you never lose if you're single.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So how was MegaCon?
It was fun. Me, John, and Risman hung out, watched the Super Bowl Sunday night.
That was fun.
And then I stayed in John's room that Sunday night.
Yeah, Nick and I slept together.
Yeah,
and you didn't get the picture I asked for. What is up with that?
That's just between me and Nick, Donna. Okay?
What picture?
That was our special night.
Oh.
Leave us alone.
No, it was you guys were supposed to give me a picture of you guys with Gary Ambrosia and
I thought I had a picture. I thought we did.
And Andy Masterson. We actually did
a picture of Andy Masterson's, backside.
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. So,
Wow.
So the one night that we finally got them to come hang out, it was at the G&G meetup, and that place was so packed out. Like there was people everywhere. It was just like, yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, I thought you were gonna be there, Donna.
No, I'd always. I mean, I can't be in. That's why I like ICCC because it's not as I can't handle too many bodies.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I don't think I'd go down there to hang out with you guys, but I don't think I'd go to MegaCon again. That was too much.
Yeah, I didn't even go to the con.
Yeah.
I didn't even.
It
go
looked
there.
extremely crowded.
But you went to Disney World.
Oh,
I went to the property. I didn't actually go inside because I couldn't get in. So
that was so stupid.
Yeah, it was.
Why
I think
can't you get in?
it's past San Diego is like the largest either that or New York Comic Con. One of the two is past San Diego because San Diego used to be about the fans, and now San Diego is just about the exhibitors.
It's corporate. Yeah,
it's way too corporate.
Yeah.
So you've got New York Comic Con and you've got MegaCon. I think MegaCon this year was supposed to actually pass San Diego, which is crazy. It's a lot of freaking people, man.
Hey guys, I gotta jump out of here. I got some work I gotta do, and me and Mike are gonna be starting Reacher season 3.
All right.
Well, tell Mike I said hi.
Yeah, I will.
Tell Mexican Iron Man hi and give him a hug for me.
I will. Sundowners, Bobby, John, Donna, love you guys. Good to see you,
brother.
And we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, sounds good. Have a good night.
Later.
Thank you.
Bye. That was so cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Me? Yes, thank you. You're welcome.
You are awesome, John. You
Thank
are
you.
awesome. Thanks for.
Oh, you know what? Since you said that, I didn't even give you your.
Oh yes.
So,
Cool.
Sundowners. We were.
That's like your signature intro is Donna.
Yes. We were talking the other night about movie. I don't forget what stream it was on. Not even mine. But what movies are excited to come out? Superman, Formula One, and Highlander.
The problem with Superman, and I'm a Superman, like I'm an easy sell. Every time they do something or commercial or something marketing, it gets me a little less excited. Whoever's running their marketing campaign has done a shitty job. It's
I'm going
just
to see it no matter what. I love
well,
Superman.
I am too. I'm not saying I'm not going to go see it. Like I
did,
said, I love Superman.
I didn't see the last trailer, but it looks like it's like fake head or something paste when he's flying. I saw something about that. People are all wound up about it. I don't know. I didn't
About
see
what?
it.
What is it?
Somebody he's flying and it looks CGI.
Oh, the
or
Superman
doesn't
trailer. Yeah, I guess they said his face.
It was his
doesn't look
face.
right. Or something.
It was his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because Highlander comes out this year, doesn't it?
No, next year.
Oh.
So he finishes. He's filming Voltron right now. Cavill.
Yep.
And
like
in
the
Australia.
toy Voltron?
Do what?
Like the toy or something different?
Yeah, the Voltron.
No way. Yeah. I'll be darned.
So when they finish Voltron, I think he's going straight into Highlander. I think it's April or May.
What's the bounce with the banjos? I don't get what's the banjo part.
Why is it Matween even on here? That's what I want to know.
Because he's got a hot date, Donna.
Can't be
He
the only
doesn't have
Tennessee
no
guy
hot
on here.
date.
What do you mean he doesn't have a hot date?
My wife's in bed with a migraine. That's why I'm on here.
Nice. Well, I don't mean nice. I'm glad you're here though.
The boys were like they get limited time on like VR, and so she goes, I have a headache, I'm going to lay down. And as soon as she went in the room, they both had their VR headsets on because they knew I wasn't going to stop them.
Have you ever played that? I got that. Was it Oculus or something? That Vader Immortal.
Yeah, I played it. I tried it when it came out, but
I like that. That's bad. I need to play it again. That was cool.
When that one came out, that they were still kind of getting the tech fixed around VR. It was the motion was really messed up, and it would give you like a equilibrium issue, a little vertigo. But they've gotten a lot better with it. Like so, the boys have I think they have the MetaQuest 3 or whatever it's called, and it's pretty cool. Know. Like they're stepping up their game as far as the tech goes.
Cool.
But yeah, I wish I could show you. Let me take my camera. I got my camera on a tripod. Let me show you guys something. I'm slowly getting all my figure stuff ready to put on an LED box on the back wall. Hold on, I'm gonna show you something.
All right. What's the mask thing? The gold thing behind him?
Oh, that's Game
from
of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Yep.
Oh, the Ark. Look at that. Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Oh, all those classics.
Oh, I like the Ark.
Yeah.
What's the Ark from Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah.
Deadpool stinks.
Yeah, Sterling doesn't want any.
I like the R2.
R2D2.
Yeah,
Woo!
Superman statue. Yeah.
I love the mask from
Game of Thrones. Yeah.
They were the I'm trying to think of the name of those guys.
The Harpies.
Harpies.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting all these collectibles. You know, they're all in these little cases. You know.
Yep.
Nice.
So I've got 102 of the 77 to 85 line, and I've got a couple of pieces that I'm getting a little bit higher quality ones. Like I got a few that I need to replace, and then I've got the LED box that's gonna house them all, and it lights up on the side. It's a really cool thing. It's nice. If you go on YouTube, Bosk Bounty, he shows one of them. I think.
Oh, I like that guy. I watched.
There's a guy too called Padawan Collector. I think Padawan.
I think I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's got the LED box too. I saw it on one of those channels. I was like, and I called Coach. I was like, "Have you seen this?" He was like, "Yeah," because Coach is always up on the vintage stuff, and so like I got to get this, man. But I got to finish because the vintage collection, the Kenner line. By the time Return of the Jedi came out, I was already kind of growing out of having the figures, so I didn't get really many of the original Jedi figures, you know. And so when I went back and started collecting, I was like, oh man, I don't have that one. I don't have that one. So it's taking a little while to get them because I don't want to get them like in bad quality. I want to get them to where like if you come here and you see it, they were graded. They would be, you know, 80 better, hopefully.
Nice.
But so yeah. So Highlanders next year. There's something else coming out this year it's a big movie.
Snow White.
It's not going to be big. It's not going to be.
There's Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yep.
No,
There's
what else?
there's nothing for me this year.
there's Superman. Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I don't care about that either.
You know,
Fantastic Four.
Bobby, what do you
Thunderbolts.
think? What'd you think about Fantastic Four, the trailer?
I mean, the aesthetics of it were pretty cool. I mean, I like that kind of retro, futuristic look. Because I guess it's taking place in the '60s.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't buy Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards.
I'm tired of.
I'm sick of seeing him in everything.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm tired of seeing his mug.
I'm more excited to if I get the chance of shaking Brandon Wayne's hand at ICC than any others. I mean, John Wayne's grandson, and he is
the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I would like to shake his
Oh,
hand.
my voice.
Yeah, you know the Fantastic Four. The only thing that kind of has me like, all right, I may go see it, is the '60s retro. That part kind of intrigues me a little bit.
Yeah, I'm up in the air. I kind of gave up on the MCU. You know,
is it based in the '60s?
Yeah,
Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Oh, I better have good music then.
I think it's.
Hey, Nick, what's going on? I gotta get a refill real quick. Be right back.
I think it's like during the space race, right? So it's early '60s.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I'm looking to see what other movies
Exactly
coming out. You know what Pedro reminds me of? Remember when like they were putting The Rock in 3 movies a year? He was in everything.
Yes, and it got
people,
boring.
Yeah, people got tired of it. Like he was oversaturated. He was selling energy drinks, and you're like, golly, man, you know, just got tired of it. I think Pedro is the same thing. He's in too much stuff.
Is it like Antonio Banderas?
Oh, he did the same thing back in the day, where he was in a bunch of stuff, and it was just like, okay, yeah, at least he was hot, you know, but.
Yeah, Antonio. What was the movie with the vampires? Was he in that?
Oh, not
No.
Dusk Till Dawn. He wasn't in that.
No, I was thinking like Bordello of Blood. He wasn't in that though. He was in like Desperado.
Yeah, Desperado. Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah,
Western movie,
another
yeah.
Robert Rodriguez.
There
Film.
was a time
Do you
that
remember? Speaking of, do you remember John Carpenter's Vampires?
Oh yeah.
Welcome, Wiz.
As a matter of fact, I think they just released that in 4K.
That's a great movie. Listen, guys, I'm going to bring you back to 1983 right now. This is what I just
all right,
got
here we
the
go.
mail. I haven't taken-
1983, 8th grade.
All right, here we go. Oh, very nice.
The Hut set.
I can't see it.
Yeah, it's in cellophane right
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see it now.
You know about cellophane being wrapped up, Donna.
Yeah, Donna. Just got that in from Fourth Main Toys, and they even threw me in, which was really nice of them. It's a beater comic, but it's nice to get this back in my hands again.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
Yeah, and the artwork in here is it just reminds me of how good stuff was back then. You know, comics
Yes.
are pretty good. Like they get people forget about that stuff. Like, you know, the artists and that, how they produce those in such, you know, fast speed.
Isn't he the
To
same
the
character no
printing.
matter what? Jason Statham. See, I know who that is because I'm hip.
So, John, F1, the Brad Pitt Formula One movie's coming out July 1st.
Yes.
Brad
Yeah.
Pitt.
I kind
I
of
saw another trailer for that, I believe.
I have mixed reviews on that just because, well, one, it's Brad Pitt and they're going to screw up a Formula One movie. Maybe not. I don't know.
Brad Pitt is hot. Still.
Whatever, Donna.
Happy Gilmore 2, maybe coming out by the end of the year.
Yeah,
That
that's
sounds
coming out.
dumb.
Steven, do you want to come on here?
Oh, Avatar.
Yeah, in
Avatar's
December, I think.
December 19th. Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Steven, if you'd like to come on here. There's what is it? Avatar. You know what? I never saw the second one. I would like to.
You didn't miss anything.
It's like 3 hours though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
I watched
And then
that
I
for
think-
15 minutes.
I think there's a Frankenstein movie coming out too at the end of the year.
Oh,
Is it a funny
yeah.
Frankenstein movie?
I think I read something about it.
No, I don't think so. I think it may be like historical or something. I don't know, but
I don't
Super-
think I don't think I've ever seen Young Frankenstein in its entirety.
Young Frankenstein is the best Frankenstein movie ever.
I don't
Love
think
that
I've ever
movie.
seen it. I've seen clips of it.
Yeah, Mel Brooks.
Hey.
Yeah.
well, Avatar is going to make. I mean, they're not going to put anything else around Christmas against Avatar.
No.
I mean, the theaters.
I mean,
if you're-
there might be a couple of animated movies or something, but
but if you're a theater owner and
Yeah.
you have 20 screens, 15, whatever, right?
Yeah.
You would literally put that movie on every screen you had during
Yeah.
the because that's where you're going to make your money. Avatar's sequel during Christmas, you
yeah.
make your money for the whole year.
But yeah, next week, John, that House of David comes on Amazon.
Oh, I do. I want to see that. That's Amazon.
Yeah, House of David
I do want to see that.
What's that
So
on?
if we ever get another Star Wars,
on Amazon Prime. It's a biblical series about David.
Yeah,
it's called
my-
The House of David. Starts the 27th.
if
yeah, I
we
saw
ever
it.
I have
trailer for it.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, you can see there's a trailer for it.
It is really, really. They're
Um,
I know it sounds stupid, but I love the
Hold on a
fact
second.
that they actually have Goliath as a giant
As a giant,
real.
yeah.
Mhm.
instead of just getting a big actor.
Yeah.
They have.
Oh,
him as a
sweet.
giant.
Yeah.
It looks
Well, how
really
tall
good.
was Goliath? How tall was Goliath supposed to be in the Bible? Does it say? his
Almost
height?
overnight.
They just said that he was a giant.
If you do the cubics, they think over 9 feet.
Oh.
The only thing that I saw in the trailer that I don't like is Saul stood up and he wasn't very tall. Tall was head and shoulders over everybody else, and then Goliath was almost 9 feet tall. Yeah,
can
nine.
I share my
Nine.
screen? I've got the trailer pulled up.
Samuel, the guy that does Samuel, looks just the way I always
All right,
pictured.
let's see. Can you hear the sound?
No,
No,
Why doesn't it play the sound?
that is correct,
You're
Steven.
sharing the trailer.
Okay, I don't know. I can handle the visuals.
1 cubit is 18 inches.
Yeah.
Oh,
It looks so good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I like the fact that they're going to show the part with him at the caves. That's
Yeah,
a
the
good
cave.
part.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the end when he comes out? That's what. Yeah, I like that.
I mean, they look like they did a good job of the cinematography.
See, Samuel.
Who's playing Samuel?
He was in a. Let me look it up while you guys watch.
That wasn't Stephen Lang, was it?
Yes. He was in Gods and Generals and Stephen Lang. He played
Sure is. He's
Yeah.
playing Samuel. That's interesting.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson's and everything else. He's another guy that's oversaturated.
Oh, see, now this is the part that
I
he
don't
should be
know.
like really, really tall. But stuff like that, that's the stuff that it just irritates
and the
me.
guy that plays Jonathan is pretty
Looks like he's from India.
India. You guys ever seen Master of Disguise?
Was that with
Daughter?
was that the comedian guy?
Yeah, every time anybody says India, that's all. India. I love that movie.
I mean, it looks worth watching. I mean,
Yeah, it looks well done.
and they've got the characters.
Did you guys ever see the one with Saul or whatever it was, David? It was with Richard Gere and remember back in the 80s?
Oh, I don't think so.
Did you guys ever see that? No?
Whatever happened to Richard Gere? Is he still alive? He was big back in the day.
Yeah, he's threatened to move to Europe ever since the
Let him go.
elections.
We'll see you. Bye.
The Hollywood.
Sean, I'm surprised you haven't seen that movie. You seem to know like every movie.
Did you see Nick though?
What?
Look at Nick.
What movie are you talking about?
51st State American Canadian.
There it is.
Do you hate us
The
like
future-
they say? Do you hate
Who?
us like they say?
Do I hate you?
Yeah.
I'll say anything for you guys to invade up here.
Damn.
Invade like we'd have to. No.
It would take well, it would be a tough invasion. There's a lot of driving up here. It's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of miles of like forest and semi uncharted territories, especially when you get in the Northwest Territories and Yukon.
I do know one thing about Canada. You don't mess with the maple mob. I mean, that's hardcore.
So
Yeah.
So Nick,
it
are
needs
you
to
going
be.
to try to come down for ICC this time?
Well, I would have. I was going to say the chances were somewhere between 85 and 95% that I was going to come in October, but when they moved it to May, that's like a 2% chance. So,
Oh, well,
I
we would
didn't.
love
I didn't.
to
I
see
thought.
you in the flesh.
Yeah, I know. I was planning on making it happen. It's just I didn't think that they were going to move it to spring, right? So.
Yeah.
I got scheduling concerns. I'm a busy man.
Busy.
Yeah, so it kind of sucks, but I don't know. It is what it is. But you never know. Things could change in the next month or so.
It's true.
Yeah.
Work comes first,
The future is just saying.
unless you're Caleb, and then work does not come
Okay.
first.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, where is the lawyer? I haven't seen him around.
Uh,
They're always
It's been
doing.
a while either.
I think he's playing Sea of Thieves right now.
Yeah.
Online
They're always
with,
they're always doing these
X-Men.
game channels. Him and X-Wing and all those guys. I can't watch
Well,
that.
that's how they're growing. They're growing big time.
Do they make
Yeah.
money off those game things, or are they just messing around having fun?
Well, it depends on how many viewers you have, and
Because that's just crazy to me.
It doesn't grow your channel, but if you have people in there that do memberships and super chats and all that, it
yeah. that's
Look at
what-
that. Oh, how now I know you.
Of course, you know me.
I do. Oh, that's cool. You're on. You're sweet. Yeah, I'm excited. That was the best thing I ever did last year. Was volunteer. That was so much fun.
Mm.
Yeah.
That was a blast.
Well, the thing that people don't understand about volunteering is that they get all behind the scenes access that people don't.
Yeah, and that I don't. I'm not a big celebrity fan, but it is cool though. It's fun.
John, you may have gotten the girl at the front desk number if you would have told her you were a volunteer.
That's all I need. I got enough problems right now. So how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing just fine.
Did you enjoy the
How are you all
stream so
doing?
far?
What's that?
Are you enjoying the stream so far?
I am.
Good.
I didn't know you hosted streams.
It's we usually start out with Star Wars and it evolves into chaos very quickly.
He doesn't know it either.
So does my life.
Yep. Especially when my daughter's here. And then it really gets yep.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Mike had shared one, so I hopped on to see what was going on, and Because I mean, it's just boggles the mind about the whole Star Wars theory thing and
I don't
how
get
that
it.
just blew up. And I sent Mike a message earlier this week, said, "Hey man, I'm sorry you're catching so much flack for this just ridiculous thing. Hopefully y'all just blow over here soon." But I
hope
no matter what happens, I got your back. So
There's a niche in the fandom that just they're gonna do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just and ICC being such a small one, they probably said, here we go.
Yeah.
And-
well, it's like I told Mike, I said, "Hey, look at all the, because when he was talking about it on his Taco Tuesday sale earlier, he said, hey, Star Wars Theory is going to 22 conventions this year. And I'm the only one that's catching flack for stuff right now." And I sent him a message. I said, "Hey, the reason why you're catching flack and not the other 21 is because you're the only operator that is accessible to the public. The people running the other 21 cons, they're not on
it's all
Facebook
corporation
doing live streams, or you can message them directly on Facebook Messenger, things like that. It's you can't get to those people, but the ones running the mom and pop show, that's the one that you have access to, so people feel like, hey, I'm talking to the manager. I'm doing something.
Karens, bunch of Karens.
Yeah,
That's what they are, Karens.
Who cares? Buy a ticket or fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Well, we're gonna hang it as a
cares?
banner out front.
You're entitled. I mean, listen, people are entitled to. I don't like Disney Star Wars. I don't like any of it. I mean, I grew up with Star Wars. I don't like any of it. But like, people are entitled to not like theory. They're entitled to like them. They're entitled to have their opinions. And if you don't like it, don't go to ICCC. And if you do like it, show up. Otherwise, fuck off.
Yeah, I just don't. It boggles me. Like, you don't have to talk to the guy. You don't have to go by him to get to somebody else to talk. I just don't understand it.
But we're living in a time where people, it's social media and they're typing characters on a keyboard or on their phone, and nobody has the balls to go up in person to somebody and say, I don't appreciate this that you they don't they just don't.
Right.
Yeah, well, everyone's a tough guy behind a keyboard.
Yeah.
And
It's like they said, it's they're wearing their Facebook balls.
Ronnie.
Mhm.
Well,
I'm a tough guy in real
25,000
life.
25,000
keyboard.
so far watched Theory's video. So that's 25,000 that are looking at, what's ICCC?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's great. Although
Exactly.
I'm back and forth on that because I don't want to get too big because I really like it how it is.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I don't want it too crowded.
Well,
That-
it's a
that's
different event, so I don't think. I mean, people
That's the
coming off
double-edged
of,
sword.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's a totally different audience, consumer that would go to ICCC than like MegaCon or New York Comic Con. Those are, those people show up, the cosplays and that's a whole different ball of wax. This is more intimate.
Collector.
It's a different style, and I think you find your niche in between these big, just like, San Diego Comic Con 20 years ago was completely different. And then these other conventions said, we can't be San Diego Comic Con, nor do we want to be. Let's create this. And then they filled that niche, in place of San Diego Comic Con. And look at San Diego Comic Con now. It's not for the fans anymore.
No.
Yeah, well, because and I was talking to Michael yesterday about if he even wanted to talk about this tonight and all that. And I told him, I said, I've been to every Star Wars celebration except for the first one and the last one they had in LA because of the mask thing and all that. And I got married at one, for God's sakes. But I don't really have any desire to go back to one if they bring it back to the States. I mean,
You got married at a con?
Oh, yeah.
Say that again. You got. Oh my god.
Yep, 2015. Steve Sansweet married us.
Oh my god.
Wow.
John,
John,
that's out of a movie.
John, we had it good, man. The ability to go to like Celebration in Indy in 2002.
Oh, I love that.
That was a whole different time when the actors were just walking around.
And then
Hey, that's
they had it
ICC
2
con.
years or two times in a row. I think it was the second time. I ruined my son. I mean, ruined him. They had a tornado warning or something going through the city. Remember that? So we ordered room service. Jack was probably, oh gosh, what was he? 6, 8 years old, something like that. What? I could just pick something up and you're gonna bring it to the room? I go, yeah, anything you want. to this day, if we go somewhere, can we get room service? Sure. Yeah, sure.
Do you remember they had like the panels or the breakout rooms?
Yeah.
And you would walk down, and John Knoll was in there on the visual effects. And
I was, yep.
Like we walked in the door, there was probably, correct me if I'm wrong, John, 50 to 70 people in there. Like,
I bet.
It was not a lot.
Uh-uh.
We walked in the door, and John Knoll goes, "Hey guys, take a seat, sit down." Like they were showing how they were making the cloak for Yoda in Attack of the Clones and how hard it was to make.
Yeah.
You know, he was talking about all that, and he was like, "Yeah, George basically told us this is what we're doing, and this, trying to figure this out." And he was just walking through it, and there's like 50, 60 people in the room. And it was John Knoll. And then in another room, it was Doug Chang and talking about the artwork and all the ships.
Because I talked to Doug Chang walking down the hallway, and and we talked about Formula One. He's a big Formula One fan.
Dude, whatever that bar was right down when you walk out of the RCA Dome in downtown Indianapolis, there was a hotel where there was a sky bridge.
Yeah.
And I was staying at that hotel. And then there was Don Shula's steak restaurant.
Yes.
Steakhouse right next door. And then there was a bar right down the street. We went into the bar, and the guy who played Uncle Owen, who's now been in a bunch of movies, but he was nobody back then, Joel Egerton. Joel Egerton and his brother Nash, who was a stuntman on The Matrix, they were Aussies, and they were in the bar just getting trashed. And I mean, they were wild, having a good time and just talking to everybody. And I remember Joel Egerton saying his mind was blown that he was part of Star Wars. He was just sitting there talking to fans, and he didn't see himself at all as Uncle Owen or an actor. He was just like, his career was just getting started. And he was with his brother. They were like stuntmen. And he was like, man, this is crazy, man, to just be, on set in Tunisia, and like filming these scenes. He said it was completely surreal. He had to snap out of it. But you can't do that anymore. You go to these cons now, they're not going out like hanging out at the bar with a bunch of people at the bigger cons.
Yeah. Well, like
I said, he and his brother both were in Zero Dark 30.
Yeah.
He became
a very successful actor, but he was I don't know if you could pull up online. The Attack of the Clones may have been his first role.
Yeah.
I mean, he was and people didn't recognize him. Now they did recognize Hayden Christensen. He was walking around the con, and I think after the first day, he realized, I underestimated him and his brother. Were walking around, and they didn't have any security or anything. And after day one, I think it was like, because there was a bunch of teenage girls chasing Hayden around, and I think on day two, he was like, I probably need to have some people around me because this is.
Steven would take care of that.
Yeah. But that was just a different time, man. It was a lot of fun. You couldn't pay me to go to like a Star Wars celebration now.
I don't think I'd have any interest in going, to be quite honest with you.
Well, it's too. I mean, it's not for the fans. It's too corporate.
Yeah. Well, like ICC, like you can have a drink with some of these like celebrities or whatever. At MegaCon, you couldn't even see them. They were all like curtained off, where you had to walk around to get to them and all that. And it's just a different world. ICCC.
Now,
so last year at the go ahead.
Ewan McGregor was pretty cool last year. When we met him and Hayden, I was wearing a Breakfast Club T-shirt with a silhouette of the John Bender character, and he saw it. And when we walked up, he was like, "It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Shit, I love that shirt." Just sitting there bullshitting, and then we had to walk off. But like Ewan was pretty cool. But other than that, it was probably 250,000 people. It's probably more this year, John. I don't know. I can't imagine it was smaller.
Yeah, I don't. I'll never go back to MegaCon. We walked through it once. I was done. There's people just everywhere.
Yeah, it looked way too crowded.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been able to handle it at all.
And another thing that's bad about the big cons that like ICCC has is the big cons. You go to on the floor where all the stuff to buy, and there's no collectibles. It's all just tchotchkes. It's just. You may walk into an area where they have like the statues from Sideshow or something, but by and large, 95% of all the tables and booths are just garbage. It's nothing you're going to want to collect. Whereas with ICCC, you're going to have people selling vintage stuff there.
Okay.
Oh, it was amazing
that's
the
cool.
stuff people were selling back in October.
Oh, that and the room
mean,
sales. God, I love the room
Oh,
sales.
it was crazy.
This is what I got from ICC.
Oh,
This
wait.
one.
Wait, I have technology, Donna. Look at that. Nice.
Thanks.
Donna's a
CD-ROM
Monopoly queen.
special collection.
Hey, Donna, do you have Game of Thrones Monopoly?
No.
Hold on. Do they have
I-
one?
Yes, I want it so bad, but I'm just short of cash. It's been out for a little bit, but I bought this instead.
Hold on. So they've got a. Which one do you like, Donna? They have one with the Iron Throne
Oh,
on
the
it, and one with the
Mandalorian.
Targaryen.
I like both of them.
Wow.
Actually, all three of them. There's 3 of them out, but I bought this instead.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, that's Mandalorian, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
So you were talking
there's
about
the-
how, like, in the old days, the conventions, like the guest stars used to be walking around. I mean, that happens at ICC Con. I mean, every year I have stories from that. Like last year, Warwick Davis, it was like the first day, there was just like the VIP only at that time. And I met up with him, in the hotel lobby. I said, Mr. Davis, are you ready to go to your room, to your table? And he said, oh, I want to go look around in the vendor room. And so he had his little Segway that he, zoomed around on, and he just went up and down to the vendor room during the VIP only area, during the VIP only time, and was talking with the vendors, looking through their stuff. Because I mean, he actually does collect some items, like some Wicked items and other vintage toys, and found some carded Willow figures that he thought was pretty neat to come across, of all things at a toy convention. And was talking about the vendors, and like, wonderful person to visit with. And like, who does that? I mean, he's not going to go, big name stars aren't going to do that at the big conventions, but and like all the vendors were just lighting up like, oh, hey, here's Wicket at my table. And like, even in cons past, like Matt Lantner, he wanted to Lantner, he wanted to go look through the booths and find stuff. And so it's so great to see when these guest stars are also fans and they get the opportunity to enjoy it. Last year, like so many of the guest stars, one night after the con went and ate supper together there in the restaurant in the lobby of the hotel, and they had there were like 20 people at that table, all of them the guest stars from the various appearances, and they got a big old group picture. And oh yeah, and then a couple years ago, the first year we were at the Sheraton, Dickie Beer was there, stuntman who was on Boba Fett, and then a few of the Jabba's goons, and then the Rebel Commando. He was hanging out in the bar with us one night. I actually have, I'll have to reach up here for it. This is I had a Rebel Commando. I went up to my room and got it and brought it down, and he autographed a Rebel Commando figure for me.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
By Dickie Beer. He's like, it's not going to be legible. And I said, I don't care.
I know what it says on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And like John Cousins was there, and Shane Davidson, and it's just great, them getting the opportunity to just relax and enjoy it.
Because I mean, they're just people too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The girl who was in Daredevil, that was there 2 years ago.
Oh yes.
Deborah.
Yes.
The redhead, sweetest girl. We sat there with her for about 45 minutes.
Okay.
She grabbed a chair and was like, "Will you all sit with me?" And so me and Sterling, my co-host, sat there and we were bullshitting with her for 45 minutes. She was the sweetest person. And at the time, they were filming Daredevil Born Again, the new stuff.
Yep.
And she wasn't in it. And then they fired the writers because evidently they tested it and it was awful. And they brought in a whole new group of writers and redid the season that's about to come out that people are excited for. And they brought her back. So I thought that was super cool that she was like, I don't think I'm not in it. They just did the season, and D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox were at that ICCC too. And she was like, yeah, I'm not in it. I wish I was. And then they came back and they brought her back because it didn't test well. And she's one of those people that you root for because she was thankful to be there. She was as sweet as could be. And So that was really cool just to see her get that opportunity to go back on a series that it was on Netflix before. Now it's going to be on Disney Plus, so probably have less people watching it. But that was really cool to see her have a little bit of a comeback.
So, Steven, is there any, and I don't want you to name anybody, but is there any guest star that you were like, please, Michael, don't let them come back?
Oh boy.
Is this being recorded?
I'm answering this completely honestly. No.
Oh, good. Oh, nice. Very nice. Very nice.
So this is my 4th year, I've been to ICC for the past 4 years. I started coming in the ICC the 3rd. And also when I started, the first time I came was when I volunteered to supplement security, as they were looking for an EMT. And then I was looking to go to the show for the first time because I didn't make the previous ones because I was still new to the IC and, couldn't swing it. But by the time the 3rd one came around, I was like, man, everyone's having so much fun. I got to get out there and do it. And then, when Nat, the head of the ICC security, was like, hey, we need an EMT. I'm like, hey, I can help you with that. So
Nice.
I worked for 4 years, and the celebrities, the guest stars that they've had that I've been around, which was most of them, were just completely nice. I mean, I can't speak for how they interacted with everybody, but I mean, like you said, most of them are just people. And as long as you're cool with them, they'll be cool with you. But if you're going to scream and fanboy or ask them, harassing questions, they're probably going to get annoyed at you. But
yeah, and I don't see that even being out and about. I've never saw that with anybody. Even when they're out in the wild, like in the lobby or something like that, nobody's ever gone up, and just falling all over anything.
Yeah,
it's just a wonderful setting.
Yeah, but no, everyone's been nice. Some people are very particular, and I can understand that because I've heard about how guest stars are treated at other conventions. They're not treated well. They're basically herded around like cattle. Like, you sit here, you do this. Yeah. Now you go over here and you sign this 1,000 times. Now you go over here and talk for a while. And they just run them ragged to just squeeze every bit of juice out of them that they can turn around and sell for stuff. And the fact that the ICCC has had multiple repeat guest stars is a testament to how well they're treated here.
Absolutely.
How well they're treated by the team, the leadership, the fans. I mean, if they're being treated like dirt, they're not coming back. I mean, Warwick Davis is coming back this year. Happy to have him.
Yeah,
and he was a wonderful person to me. I spent a lot of time in his room, and just a really great guy. I hate to say down to earth, but it's just a great guy to talk with. And the fact that, his signature was $100, I thought that was a steal. And I was surprised there weren't more people in his room all the time. But I mean, you got so many great fandoms there, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Willow, Leprechaun for the horror fans.
Yeah.
So.
There was confusion because they ended up going to John's room thinking they were going to Warwick's room.
Yes. Yeah. And I got $100.
And John was signing stuff, and
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. But there was because we worked the same room for work one day,
mm-hmm.
and I kind of thought after I said it, I was like, oh, maybe that was kind of out of place or whatever. But I think it was 2 girls came in. They're looking at the photos and they're trying to figure out which one to pick for him to sign. And I said, and they had 2 of them, I believe. I said, well, I asked Mr. Davis what his favorite one is, and I think he liked that. I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, ask his opinion, see which one, and then he picked one. So, and after I did, I'm like, well, maybe because he's a celebrity, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I think it went over well.
Well, John, I'm surprised a lot of fans don't get you confused for the actor that played what was his name, Teak, in the Battle of.
Oh, we lost Nick.
Oh. You booted him just for that comment.
You know what? My thing is, I don't know if I'd ever cosplay or not. Probably not. But I can't cosplay to anything. Too freaking tall for an Ewok. Too tall for a Jawa. Too short for a storm. I could be short for a stormtrooper. That would be funny.
Hey, if you ever need cosplay inspiration, just look at Robert Wilson. I mean, 2 years ago, he was the Rancor Keeper, shirtless and everything.
Oh, I met him. I met him.
And this past year, he was the blue milk delivery man. So he was dressed up in all white like a milk delivery man.
That was good.
Holding a little carton
Hey,
with like 4 of the empty blue milk cartons.
Oh wait, I have technology.
Oh yeah. Oh, Snaggletooth. That's a good one.
So John, you could be
An
Snaggletooth.
Ugnaught.
The red snag.
Oh, I'm not that.
Yeah,
ugly.
there you go.
You
An
could be the
Ugnaught.
You could be the Ugnaught, or you could be Snaggletooth.
Oh, I want to be an Ugnaught.
John, you could play Ugnaught easily.
I don't want to have a mask on my head all just to get hot the whole time. My character can't
Yeah,
have skins. I know that.
You're too big to be Watto.
Oh,
And you can't fly.
You could be
Yeah.
actually,
you need
John.
wing.
Drink a
In-
Red Bull.
Star Wars special. Doesn't Chewbacca have a son or something like that? You
Oh,
could
yeah,
play
Lumpy.
Like,
lumpy. I'm getting
yeah,
lumpy.
an
I got
adolescent
Uh,
or an
Wookiee.
adolescent Chewie there. You know,
Bite sized.
Wookiee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show you. This is the autograph I got from.
Oh, wait, I got
George Davis.
technology.
Nice.
I was in the room when you got that.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
and he gave it to me for free. He said, "Hey, go pick out a picture and I'll sign it for you." It's just for helping me out. I was like, "Oh, well,
That's
you
awesome.
don't have to do that. I mean, I was gonna pay for a picture, but just the guest stars, they're just so nice." And even Billy D. Williams gave me one.
He's got a
too.
nice signature.
Yeah, he does.
Nice.
Ah, my blurry is messing up on me.
Let's see. Yeah.
Oh, wait, I got technology.
John,
Yeah.
John Cyril. Yeah.
Let's see if I may have to turn off the blurry and disclose the huge mess in this room.
Mhm.
I got
Show us the mess.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Nice.
look at that. He's got a nice collection behind him. I knew it.
Well, yeah, and it's a huge
Beautiful.
mess right now because over Christmas break, I pulled up all the carpet in the bedrooms and changed it out to vinyl planks.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
of course, in order to do that, you have to move everything out of the room and then put everything back. And so this is my office / collection room / my son's Lego room. So it's the last room to get put back together. So everything just got dumped back in here.
I know, that's
What,
my
Steve? What do you collect,
Nice
anyways? Looks like you had some hot toys in there or something. I don't know.
No, so I'll go ahead. Don't judge me. No judging.
All right, we
Oh,
have
you don't
technology
care.
here.
Yeah. So yeah. So what's on the shelves is my son's Legos. So up there are
Okay.
the Star
Okay.
Wars Legos buildable figures, and then around are just different sets that he plays with. And then here's more over there, more of his sets. And then
Oh,
up
okay.
here, can't really
Cool.
see it over my desk, but this is where I have my collection,
Oh man.
There you go.
including my Rebel Commando Focus collection.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
Holy
a lot of.
shit. Damn.
That's
Are
cool.
those
Wow.
3 3/4 or?
Yes. Those are
Okay,
vintage
right on,
Rebel
yeah.
Commandos, my favorite figure.
Yeah, that was a
Oh,
nice
okay.
looking figure.
That's cool.
If I can figure out how
Now,
to do
why
something
did
like
they had-
why did the Rebel Commander become your favorite figure? Is there a story behind that?
Yes, there is. And it's funny you should ask because I was just thinking like for the vintage of the week theme for ICCC, like, hey, let's talk about like why did we get into collecting and what our favorites are and why. So I was born in 1983. I was the youngest of 3 kids. And so by the time that I became old enough to play with action figures, the Star Wars figures were long since gone from the stores. And I grew up watching the Star Wars movies, absolutely loved them. Return of the Jedi was my favorite, still is. And so I didn't have any action figures, but my brother did. He had 10 of them. And he kept them at our grandparents' house. So that anytime we went over there, to play or stay or whatever, we'd have something we could play with and enjoy. So every time I went over to my grandparents' house, I'd get the little Ziploc bag of Star Wars figures out and just play with those for hours.
Nice.
And there were just 10 figures. And one of them was the Indoor Rebel Commando.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a Han Solo, so I pretended that was my Han Solo in camouflage, the coat, basically. And so I played with those 10 figures. I had a Weeble. They had a Weebles, an old vintage Weebles treehouse that I played in as their little base, and then an old set of Playmobil space figures and vehicles. So those are the bad guys that I would fight against.
Yeah, Playmobil.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the spaceship was my Millennium Falcon, and then the little single seater was the TIE Fighter. And that's just what I did. I'd go to my grandparents' house and I played with Star Wars figures. So I have such wonderful memories of being there on the floor of my grandparents' house, playing with Star Wars figures. My favorite was the Rebel Commando because, I pretended he was my Han Solo. He looked awesome, looked like a G.I. Joe figure because I love G.I. Joe. And so when I play with these figures, when I look at them, when I collect them, my mind is transported back to when I was a child, didn't have any cares in the world, laying there on the floor of my grandparents' house, both of them still alive, and just having fun, pure bliss.
Yep.
And that's what I think about. So Star Wars collecting is a positive experience for me because it takes me back to my childhood and the good memories I had.
That's good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's nothing
Very cool.
nothing better than the Kenner 1977, 78 to 85.
Best.
I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Unless you were a kid and lived through that, it was, it was every kid had, either more figures than you or had the Falcon when you didn't have it, or it was all a constant comparison of we're going to go play over there because they've got this or they've got this. And, so there's always a story behind it. Right. And it was a time that, I remember one particular time walking into a store and the figures were gone.
Yeah.
Like the aisle, the same store where you'd walk down the aisle and it was a mad rush to try to get figures that were not as plentiful as others, right? You could always see the stormtroopers and the 3POs, but you'd go in there and when there was, something a little bit harder to find and you got your hands on it, that was exciting. And then, then all of a sudden one day it was like, did they change the aisle? Where is it? Like, it almost felt like, I know it wasn't overnight, but it felt like it was, and so it just, when they started dying off, because I really don't remember at all the power of the Force, after the ones with the coins.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that because I guess at that point I was, growing up, checking out of it, but I don't really remember seeing those in the stores at all. And if they were in the stores, they weren't like a hot ticket item. It was like people were getting Transformers and they were getting He-Man and whatever, right? And Star Wars faded. And it took it years to come back, 94, 95 to come back.
Yeah. Can I add something in there? In the 84 to 85, that was probably like my 84, 85, 86. That was like my pinnacle years because that's when I was the most cognitive of collecting Star Wars. Power of the Force up here in Canada, the coin figures, like being in Canada, because we got like British Palitoy, Tri logos, and then Canadian Carbacks, and then US Kenner. So, but anyways, like the Power of the Force coins, like I remember being all over Milton, Oakville, Toronto, like that area. Mind you, Quebec's kind of a different story, I suspect, because they seem to get everything. But Power of the Force was like sold out really fast. Like when Star Wars toys were coming out, like they would go as soon as they went on clearance. I remember in 1985, Milton Zellers, they brought out 3 or 4 bins of them because people say sales were dying down. I think figured, of course, because the movies weren't coming out anymore. But that was, I don't care what anybody says, Star Wars sales were still extremely strong. Even considering you had Transformers, G.I. Joe, and I grew up at the height of all those IPs, right? But Star Wars completely sold out. Like it was just like, I remember the bins that they came out with 3 or 4 bins. I remember it was something out of a movie. All his kids were just diving in, just clearing them all out. Gone. And then you know, in the you know, 86, I remember as soon as because remember the VHS tapes were just really starting to get out.
Yeah,
Not everybody had
Yeah.
not I remember kids not even having a TV in their house. Like, you know what I mean? Like not everybody had all that stuff. Not everybody had VHS players. It was a battle between Beta and VHS.
Right.
Bobby, you were around in that.
Oh yeah.
You were around in that era back then.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know,
Betamax.
yeah,
Well,
a buck wasn't
Beta was a better product, but the reason why VHS won out
Yeah.
was because it had longer tape life on
And
it. You
longer
could
tape
record-
length. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beta
could
had a
record-
better picture quality.
Yeah, you could record 6 hours on a tape, and that battle was over. But yeah, we didn't, Nick. We didn't have that. I remember, Bobby. You correct me if you had
Hold on, I'll be
differently,
right
but we didn't have Palatoy or the Tri Logos. We, you know, down here
I
we
never
had
saw Palatoy growing up. It was, you know,
No.
just strictly Kenner.
Kenner. And
You know,
and
if you went to a specialty shop, you know, not like a Toys R Us or Child World when that was around. If you went to a specialty shop, they might have had like a British or a Canadian import, but in a regular store, you saw none of that. It was all Kenner.
yeah, we were 2 states over from where Kenner's headquarters were. So,
Yep.
you know, we had
Yeah.
KB Toys, Children's
Yeah, 'cause they
Palace.
used to be in Ohio, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing
Cincinnati.
too is from when I used to talk to Americans back in like the late 80s, 90s, because the first thing I would talk to them about, not just about America, was, do you have any fucking Star Wars toys? That was the number one thing on my mind. But from my understanding, you guys got flooded with Star Wars, you know, figures.
Oh,
just,
yeah.
you know, your flea markets. Like there was a lot of like, you know, backlog of production. But I think what happened is, in my opinion, is like as the VHS tapes started getting out there, and you started getting a lot more generations of fans watching it, and then watching it on TV. Across the street of where I lived in Oakville, there was a guy there. I remember his name was Fred. I don't want to say his last name. He's probably in his like late 80s now, but he used to run what the hell is, I think it was Grandin Toy, and they used to have a toy section, but he used to meet up with all the other Toys R Us, all the top bigwigs from the Bay, Sears, like all across Canada. And every time they would have their lunch or their dinners, they would because they would cover, you know, all the different departments, right? And toys obviously was a huge one. They always say, man, I wish we had Star Wars back. And so, and because he was telling me this is this like late 80s, right? And he was just saying that sometimes they would find like allotments of that old Star Wars stock, and they'd put it out in the stores, and it would just sell out. As soon as word got out, it was gone. It was just like a frenzy, you know, and they'd all be picked up, and you know, so I don't know, like you hear a lot of people saying now, like, oh, when Power of the Force came, so it's sort of like a thing that they pump out on the internet. It's like this new narrative that, you know, Star Wars was done. Nobody wanted it. It all went to clearance. I'm not saying a lot of it didn't go to clearance.
We didn't see any clearance
like that,
where I was, Nick. It was
I didn't
gone.
know.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was just sold out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I don't know
Yeah.
if they made. I think they made a conscious decision to, you know, that George wasn't. I don't know if it was licensing or what, but like, once the movies ended. So I remember specifically 1987, 88. You walked in the stores and it was gone. It was gone.
Yeah, you couldn't find it.
Yeah,
maybe one or two on a far off peg somewhere, but it wasn't like whole sections like it used to be.
No, it felt like, and I know it wasn't overnight, but it felt like it was overnight. And then VHS, the tapes, they started putting out different versions of the tapes, you know, with different artwork, you know, on each one, so it felt like you were getting something new. And then Blockbuster was starting to take off, and that opened it up, cable. And then you had, which I think was a huge moment in Star Wars history, which was Timothy Zahn in 1991 when that book came out.
That changed everything.
It just reinvigorated like the whole thing.
Because people were in college, and they were, or you know, my generation, the Gen Xers were graduating high school and college, and they were like, "Wait a minute, you know, what is this? This is after Return of the Jedi," and that brought it all back.
Yeah,
I think you have to put Timothy
Zahn. The figures came back, and
you know, obviously George Lucas is the creator, but Timothy Zahn, I don't think there's any mid 90s Power of the Force, the greens and the orange and the special editions, I think all
there
that
was an article, Sean, I think in 88 or 89, where George was asked a question. It was one of those film, I don't know,
Festival
committee type of thing. Yeah, or something like that. I forget what the hell it's called, but anyways, like some sort of like, it's not like the Bureau film. I forget what anyways, but you can probably find the article somewhere where George kind of addressed a question if they're going to bring back Star Wars and stuff like that. And, I forget his answer exactly, but the one thing I will say is I remember when I was a member of the Star Wars fan club, like I'm sure most of you guys were. I guess, Steven, you missed it, but the first fan club. And I remember getting the letter in the mail, and it must have been like 85 or early 86, and that they were shutting down the fan club. It was like one of the worst days of my life as a kid. Oh God,
but I think there may have been a lot of the stuff where Kenner stopped what they were doing. I know Kenner was about. When did Hasbro buy them? Kenner was going through some changes, but
I think 96 or 97.
Yeah, it was sometime in
or 98.
Well, no, it was
just
it was
before
early 90s because it was Hasbro that made all the new figures.
No, because it said Kenner on them.
Well, they had Kenner, but a little Kenner Lego, but you'll see it was Hasbro.
Yeah.
But I think
it was still Kenner, but it was a division of Hasbro.
Yeah, Hasbro. Yeah.
I mean, they still had the name, so they could put it on whatever they wanted.
And I'm sure someone's covered this in interviews or whatever. But like, I think in the late 80s, I think a lot of the stuff that stopped was because George said it needs to stop. I think George wanted to raise his kids. Yeah, George was trying to raise his kids and step away from it and get the other businesses really off the ground. He was all focused on, THX, and the sound stuff, with the home video explosion and the rentals through Blockbuster.
Yeah, he was growing Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah, growing those businesses.
They were doing the effects for like pretty much all the movies. Almost.
Yeah, and then video games and things were coming. Yeah. So I think when Timothy Zahn came out and that book hit the New York Times bestseller list, I think they were surprised. I think it was like, hey, George, you've got a #1 bestseller from Timothy Zahn, Heir to the Empire. Like, I think that was like a huge catalyst to say, because I remember driving down the road about a year after that book came out, when the second book was coming out in the trilogy, the Zahn trilogy. I remember driving down the road and seeing a billboard, and there was a stormtrooper on it, and it was the special edition saying, "Come into a theater near you on this date." And I was like, what? They're coming back to the theaters, the special editions? Like, and I had not seen anything on TV, not a trailer or commercial. And I was like, what the hell is this? And then I was like, and Timothy Zahn brought this shit back. He did.
He's a wonderful man.
Yeah, I spoke with him, back in October.
He doesn't get enough credit. Like, he doesn't get enough credit for like.
Well, you know what? In 1992, I think that's when the books were released. I got my first one there. I got my copies somewhere in my bookshelf there. And, as soon as I got the first, I remember just seeing it. It was like one of the first shipments or whatever. I guess in Canada, I don't know if it was actually the first shipment or whatever, but pretty early on that. And I remember just seeing them and just being like, whoa, that's like, Leia and all on the cover. I was just picked it up.
Oh, the cover was great. Nick, you remember they had George Saboeth on the cover, the blue cover?
Yeah.
And you got that cover and you were like, what is this? Like, that was a huge moment, like in the history of Star Wars, right? And Disney can't. That's where they don't get it, man.
Do that.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Disney? Yeah. They buy Lucasfilm, and okay, they're going to go a different direction from George's scripts, whatever. But why wouldn't you pick up the phone and say, "Hey, we want to get a couple of these expanded universe authors in, like Timothy Zahn, in a room, and just bounce ideas off of them."
Absolutely.
Like, why in the world?
You know what? You know what it is, Sean? It's so obvious.
It wasn't feminist enough.
Because it's someone they can't control.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right.
They got their agenda.
I think it goes way beyond
best documentary.
Yeah,
Okay.
Robert Meyer Burnett, we talked about like outside of all the politics, it's just incompetence. It's people that don't know what they're doing. Because if you did, you would say, I want the some of the best writers that have written this stuff and the fans love. I just want to get them in a room and bounce ideas off of them. Maybe I have an idea that they could expand upon. Maybe they have an idea, but like it was so poorly managed from Jump Street. Like just poor.
Well,
Well, then all the complainers will say, "Oh, well, this new content, it's fan service." Like, okay, I like fan service. I'm a fan. What's wrong
And
with
then she
fan
comes
service?
out and says,
the word fan service is really misunderstood. It's just that's the problem when you throw out these parrots, then everyone starts, they just put their own meaning to it. And I don't think they really understand what that actually means and then what fans actually want. It's just.
I love fan service.
But Sean's right. Is it the politics that have taken over whatever they believe behind the scenes? You can see it through that, whatever that cultural Marxist, ideology or whatever they're thinking, feminism, all these ideas that have, that were really taking root in America 60 years ago. Well, obviously they go back 100 plus years ago, but at least on this sort of neo-Marxist stuff that they're trying to push or whatever it's called, which we call woke now, but before it used to be politically correct. And then
they co-opted the word woke. Woke used to mean something completely different.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like awake. Remember awake? Like people were out like on the internet 20 years ago, people were saying we need to wake up to what's going on. Now they've I wonder if they've taken some of that, that where that word woke kind of, whoever invented all these terminologies, but they co-opt everything. They get it. That's the same thing with the hippie movement. They did the exact same thing.
They've had 13 years since they bought them, and she said from the get-go that she wanted less of a focus on the male audience and she wanted to grow the female audience. Hey, that's cool. Whatever you want to do, just put out a good product. But we have 13 years of data now. 13 years of data that shows that the female audience didn't really grow at all.
Doesn't sell.
Like they went from 15%, if you believe it was an 85 to 15 male to female ratio. Some people debate that, but let's say it was 15%. Okay, it goes up 5%. So it's 20. It's 80-20. But that 80, a lot of that 80%, you upset and you lost 30% of them or more. And so,
and you know what the other thing is?
Water. You can't grow a segment of fandom or an audience and lose 30-40% of your core. Those numbers don't work.
And even if they gained say 5%, they went from 10 to 15 to 20%. Out of that 20%, maybe they have half or they have like a quarter of the purchasing power of women. Because I don't even think women that even like I talked to a few chicks that like Star Wars, and they're not really buying anything. And the only thing they liked of Star Wars was from the past, from the 70s, from the original trilogy, or maybe a little bit into the prequels and some of the other stuff. But like the numbers in it, no matter what demographic you put it in, or you break it all down, like it's a smaller purchasing power. Like it's completely not there. Like they've managed to shrink the audience. They've eradicated like the hardcore elements of purchasing power of fans, right? Like it's just Star Wars is not nearly as powerful as what it used to be as far as like grossing money, and just it's completely
there's also
diminished.
you gotta do two things. You have to
in
have
every metric.
You have to have competent people, which is writers, creators, artists, special effects, directors, actors. You have to have competence. That's the first thing, to put out a good product. Because if you put out a good product, people are going to go see it. People are going to buy it. They're going to buy the toys, play the games, visit the theme park, whatever you want to call it. You put out something good, people are going to find it. That's just business. It's capitalism. And the second thing is you have to keep them wanting more. Star Wars would come out and then you had to wait 3 years for the next one. And the anticipation was through the roof. And I always go back. I'll make an Elvis reference all the time. There's a reason why he sings the last song, and the music starts, and he heads off the stage, and you hear the announcer come on and say, "Elvis has left the building." Yeah. He never ever did an encore. And they go, "Well, why wouldn't you do an encore?" Because you want them walking out the door wanting more. And now you've diluted the brand, just like we talked about Pedro. It's like, we got a Star Wars series coming out. Well, we're going to do 2 a year. We're going to do 3 a year. And they stopped making movies 5-6 years ago. So it's been 6 years now. But they've watered it down with, we got an animated coming out. We've got series coming out. And the fact that people's habits of viewing things have changed. We spend much more time now watching content on our mobile phones, our iPads, our screens at home, than going to the theaters, because people don't go to the theaters like they used to. So when you watch a show on Disney Plus, your expectation is this is kind of like watching a movie, and they've diluted the brand. And so now it's like, is it anything special when a new Star Wars series comes out? No, because one, the quality is not there, and two, you know that, well, I don't have to watch this because in a year or 6 months something else is coming out. Like, it's not.
Sean, I got a question for you. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Not that I want to see the demise of anybody, but don't you think that what's going to happen to this Pedro guy? Do you think he's going to, now that he's been on so many movies, like, do you think it's going to be another tragic, like, actor that's going to nosedive, when he's not getting the roles now because he's
because I think, how old's Pedro?
I don't know, 50s. Early 50s?
Yeah, gotta be. He seems like a pretty down-to-earth guy from what I've read and seen about his personal appearances. So he seems like he's probably riding this out.
He was born in April 2nd, 1975.
So he's
hopefully he's put a lot of money away.
He's 49, yeah.
So he's not that old then. I'm just saying.
Okay, so. So Pedro
look at Marvel post Endgame.
Yeah, Pedro has a strong Latino Hispanic following, South America. He's got different international market appeal, global. So I think if Fantastic Four fizzles out or doesn't do well, he's got The Last of Us coming out the next season coming out on HBO. He's constantly he started out doing
like
smaller,
every other movie that's being released.
Yeah, he started out doing these smaller indie budget movies to begin with, right? So like he's cashing in right now, making millions of dollars, knowing that train doesn't keep going, it'll stop, and then he'll go back to doing the movies that he's done and enjoyed that have a $30 million budget, and he'll be around. I don't think if he was 25 years old, or like the girl from Snow White, I'd be like, okay, we're going to see her on a documentary in 5 or 10 years when she, that's a different story because she's young. She's done 3 movies and she's very controversial. And what's going to happen there? But him, he's almost 50. I think the guy's, he'll be fine. I mean, I don't think he likes playing the Mandalorian anyway. I think he would just as soon be done with it. So
he's a Star Wars fan, though, isn't he? Like, I'm pretty sure he was a Star Wars
but I
fan
think he also, how many seasons? So he was supposedly easy to deal with the first season and a half of Mandalorian, and then I think he started getting a lot of offers. I think he started getting really busy, and I think he's like, because remember there was a whole bunch of rumors around season 3, he wasn't showing up. So Brendan Wayne, remember guys, they filmed some of those scenes where. When at the end of season 3, when he's with the what was the on the planet where he was trying to get baptized in the waters.
Mandalore.
He was on Mandalore, and you could see where the Mandalorian had water on his helmet, on his silver part of his helmet, but he wasn't in the water, like the helmet wasn't. So it was like. They had filmed a scene where he was supposed to take his helmet off, but Pedro wasn't around, so they had to have Brendan Wayne do it. So I think, in season 3, I think he just went in and shot the AMR, the recording stuff in Burbank or wherever it was.
Yeah, he did
So
just the
He
voice.
wasn't. He was never in suit.
Yeah, he was-
Season.
He was in a
only
recording
his voice.
studio, and he didn't. Yeah, he didn't want to show up, so I think they had to film around it because I think he was supposed to have his helmet off in that baptismal type scene towards the end of the season. I think that was supposed to happen, and they wrote around it because he didn't show up.
Yeah.
So I think he wants to be done with it. I don't know this new movie. Will he even show his face? I don't know. I don't know if he will.
Well,
Unless we see a
why
flashback,
isn't he? Like, what's the reason? Sean, what's the reason that he's not just at least showing his face or showing up on set
not
for
there.
a day or two?
Yeah, because he's physically not there. He gets to record the dialogue, and supposedly he's got a sweet deal where they pay him as a lead, but he's really doing voiceover work. Because you can ask anybody in the
Brendan Wing
business.
is doing everything.
Yeah, if you pay somebody to do voiceover work, it's not the same as you're paying someone who's showing their face on screen for the whole show. But he's getting,
but doesn't
he's getting
he
paid
want
that
his-
kind of money.
But doesn't he want his face to at least be on the screen? Does he just figure it's not good for him to
If
even
he
have his
call it
face
in, still
shown?
get paid.
I think he's cashing in. I think he's like, I'm filming The Last of Us. I'm filming Gladiator 2. I'm filming, Fantastic Four. Oh, they got to have me come do these pickup shots. No, man, right around it. I'll go cut the audio on the weekend whenever I can. But so I think he's just, he's trying to fill in the gaps when he's working on these other big movie projects. Now, we may see his face in the movie because that's going to be in the theaters. I don't know. But
yeah,
I just want a good,
but you
good
think
versus evil movie. That's what I really want. Good versus evil. Or evil is actually evil. Not wishy-washy, and the good guys are good guys. That's what I really want that. I want
And I
that.
know I'm
You can
like
watch
20 minutes late
the good,
on this
you
conversation.
can watch the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh, what's that, Steven?
I know I'm like 20 minutes late on this conversation, but I meant to chime in earlier and say, like, the best documentary for Star Wars toys, the early Star Wars toys, and then how it went into the dark period was on Netflix. The Toys That Made Us.
Oh, I watched that. That's
The toys on
The
History
Toys That Made
Channel, Toys That Made America.
Well, no, this is the Toys That Made Us. It was made by Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it talked about how, George was shopping this around to the toy manufacturers really late in the day, really late in the deal, because he was so afraid of someone stealing his concepts. So he didn't want to get it leaked out. So he went to the big toy manufacturers, and they all said no. And then he went to Kenner, who never made action figures, and they said yes because what do they have to lose? And then it was such a bad deal for him that like Kenner got like 95% of all the sales, and then like George Lucas and Fox split a nickel. And that was the deal. And that was the contract was, all right, you get 5%, y'all get 5% of everything, of all the Star Wars toys that, are sold. And if we don't meet, and it has to be a minimum of $10,000 you get every year, minimum. And so what had happened is that it got into the dark times where he did Return of the Jedi, and he said he was going to rest the brand. He wasn't going to do, the prequel movies right away. And so I don't know how far it went, but, they're like, hey, we could just keep sending him a check every year for $10,000 to maintain the rights. But somewhere along the lines, they didn't. And so the contract expired. And then later on in the 90s, George Lucas is like, hey, I want to bring Star Wars back. And hey, I can go shop around for a fancy new contract. And that was when, that time, then Kenner got bent over the barrel, trying to keep that contract, or trying to get a new contract to keep the toys, because they couldn't stand anyone else making the toys. So it's a really good documentary, and I go back and I watch it all the time because it's just so good.
I don't know. That's sort of Kenner, like I always say, is like, in business, like they should have renegotiated to be fair with them. If that was the case, they were doing well. Like, that was dumb, because but who knows how George would have dealt with that. But loyalty goes a long way in my
absolutely
experience.
I think George, I think didn't George tell them, here's the deal, take it or leave it, and they had to sign it the second go round?
Oh yeah, so it was basically the head of Hasbro at the time was like, laid his cards out. It's like, George, we've got to have Star Wars. We've just got to do it, which is basically laid your card out, and now they can ask for whatever they want. And so that's how the second go around went.
Nice.
Because man, if you remember, George, I think I saw something where they were talking about George made like 50 or 60 million just off the Taco Bell, KFC, Pizza Hut
Jeez.
marketing deal. Remember
God, that was great too.
Yeah, they
Solo head and all that. Oh, I had that. Yep.
Yeah, it was for Phantom Menace. Like, remember those pod racer? The advertise, it was everywhere, and he was all the food places were like, "We got to have your cups. We got to have your toys. We got to."
Yep.
And he was just raking
Pepsi,
it.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Burger King had the little like Phantom Menace figures and all that, with the giant heads and stuff.
I've got every
It's
cup
everywhere.
I've got the cups that Taco Bell or KFC did. The Taco Bell, where you
I
had
still got the cups from the movie theater.
Yeah, the
Darth
ones
I had them
Maul.
all in package. I had all the Taco Bell figures in package. Like,
yeah, I've got them in a box,
Okay.
packaged up and never opened. But like, I've got the cups, and then I've got the characters that fit on top of them, and then I've got in a box. I've got every Burger King, Star Wars, Empire, and Return of the Jedi glasses, mint condition, never touched. I'm scared to
Nice.
stick them out and display them because.
Yeah, I still have my full Empire Strikes Back glasses set from Burger King from 1980.
I got a set of those.
why? John, you afraid Sean, you think they're going to fade if there's sunlight hitting them, or?
Well, there's no sunlight in this room. This is a fake wall that blocks 2 double windows. But what's crazy is you see my shelf right here. I've got like several shelves on the back area. And when I first started my channel, I had a guy that was editing videos, doing stuff, and he would come over and take my memory discs and download the files and start editing. And I have a producer station in the back of the room. So he comes over, and I've got the E.T. Elliot on the bicycle, that Sideshow or whoever did. I've got the Ark of the Covenant. I've got all this stuff that's on the back shelf. He comes in and he goes to shut the door, and he slammed it, and the shelf fell. And I had probably, I'm not going to say how much, but like I had like 3 or 4 things up here that were destroyed.
Oh, wow.
And so when that happened,
Oh, damn.
like a month or 2 later, I was going through some of my boxes, and I saw those Burger King glasses and some other stuff. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to put those, and they're not worth a ton of money, but they're in mint condition. They're perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sentimentally, I'm like, I'll lose
Scarred
my
for
mind if I put this stuff on a shelf and they fall and break. Oh my God. I was like, I'm not going to do that. So
What did you
earthquake test?
I hate John, I hate to ask, but what did you what smashed on the floor?
So,
if you want to tell us or not.
So this is one of the things that smashed that I'm deciding between getting a new one and then gluing and fixing it. So here's the Ark of the Covenant, and this piece broke off.
You're being pretty bold, not touching it by the handles.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you don't want
he so it broke off.
Take some notes off.
That broke off. The ET Elliot on the bicycle. I have that over in the corner. My wife spent like 4 hours and put that back together, but it's still in my mind. I'm like, it's glued together. It's lost its value. So now I'm in the market to buy another.
Is it like a NECA? Is that a NECA or is it a hot toy? Like, what is that?
I'll show
ET.
it. I mean, it's one
Yeah.
of the fake little pieces.
Oh, that's horrible, man. I hate when I can't stand seeing when stuff like that happens. Especially when it's stuff that people have so much love for. Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Is that from NECA? Is that the NECA one?
He broke it. I mean,
Oh, wait, I forgot I have technology because I'm hip.
Yeah.
What the heck?
It's okay. That won't put him closer to the microphone.
yeah.
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 Nice.
When
Oh,
it
that's a
fell,
nice one.
music on
Too.
that movie.
Good.
when it fell and hit the floor, did ET say "ow"?
Yeah, geez. I'll be right back.
Nice, Steven. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. She I mean, he was in like 20 pieces, and because the wiring on the brakes for the bike goes under, it's like wire, and I was like, oh my God, man. I don't know how I don't remember how much I spent on certain things. Like I know how much I spent on my Superman statue because that was and I've got swords that I haven't displayed yet from Game of Thrones.
Swords.
But like he and the thing that pissed me off was that he when he slammed the door and the stuff broke, I heard it and I came in here because I wasn't in the room, and he goes, "Oh, sorry, man," and then that was it. And I was like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
but
It's like, dude,
you know,
throw me $1,000 at least, man. Fuck.
It's like you don't slam doors in
replaced
my
it.
house.
Since I cover all the Game of Thrones, I replaced it with this is one of the pieces that
Don't drop it.
this is
Yeah,
this is
an
a really cool
earthquake's
piece.
gonna screw up your day, man.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Okay. No.
And then I got y'all see Aragorn.
Love
Okay.
it.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a nice one.
Is that from the same movie?
No, this
No.
Game of Thrones.
You have
By the way, Donna on Facebook, send me your address. I bought you the Monopoly Game of Thrones.
Aww.
no, that's you.
Look at that. Wait, I have technology.
Look at Donna. She's just like,
Are you zooming in, hoping she'll cry or something? You're
You realize it's my birthday? Not today, but this next week.
eventually.
This
How
next
old,
week.
Donna? I didn't think you could get much older.
Oh, John.
I think I've get Donna. Donna, I think I've given everybody else something, so you were due.
Thank you.
Yeah, he gave me something. I love it. It's in my bedroom. I can't tell you what to do with her.
John, I'm debating whether to give away. I've got 8 other Hot Toys, Star Wars stuff, like the one I gave you.
Yeah, that's a beautiful figure. He gave me a Ahsoka, and that's a beautiful figure.
Yeah, I've got the Anakin Clone Wars, Luke and Yoda, Boba Fett. I've got 8 of them in the box unopened. I'm just they're sitting in my office. I just need to get rid of them. I'm going to give them away. When I start streaming again, I'm going to give them away.
There you go.
Oh,
get rid of
recent
them.
pickups. My wife and son found this for me at our local game store. Stupid blurry virtual background.
Oh, cool.
oh, Willow Upgood.
Hello.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
I found that at the local game exchange. I'm like, ooh, I got to take that back to ICCC with me and see if Warwick will sign it.
Nice. Now, is that from the movie or is that from the TV show?
No, this is from the movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, because he's
There's
holding
a
the
baby.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, ooh.
Nice.
I don't think they
saw
made
that.
any
That's what
merchandise
it came
for that
out.
show.
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah. Because Disney made one season and canceled it.
And they completely screwed over Warwick. They stuck
Yeah.
him in the show just to say, "Hey, we put him in the show," but
Oh, he's not like in it?
well, he's in it, but he's not like, they used him as window dressing. That's just my opinion.
It's called Willow.
He's
isn't
not
it?
the star of
dressing.
his own show. Is it,
No,
is it
he's
similar to what they did in Book of Boba Fett and everything else? Obi-Wan?
A
Same
little
kind of
bit. I mean, it was.
Or
I mean,
worse?
if you guys watched any of it, it was laughable. It was just the 2 girls were the main characters, right?
It looked terrible.
It was.
It looked like
I never
it's
got
not
around to
even a
watch
D
it.
level. I'd give it like an E or an F.
Yeah, they took it
Dude
completely
level.
off, right? Like you can't even watch it?
Yeah. It's off of Disney Plus. You can't watch it.
I'll be darned.
How much
No,
money
no.
did they spend on that show to produce that?
I mean,
Disney's
Look,
used to
they-
throwing away money.
it's not just a Star Wars problem. Lucasfilm, they've screwed up every IP they have.
Yeah.
I mean, which is like unfathomable. Like you have to really, people have focused a lot on the politics and the all that stuff, and that's all true. But before all of that, it's incompetence. Like the six of us could get in a room and come up with a story for Indiana Jones or Star Wars that might not make $2 billion, but people wouldn't walk out of the theater and be like, what the hell was it? Who wrote this? Like, it's just, it's like, man, come on, man. When you listen to all the hits of the band, you know, it's not hard to come up with like, this is kind of sort of what the sound needs to be. And this is what the, you know, it's, and again, you said fan service.
Yeah.
I don't think there's such a thing as fan service. I think there's either stuff that's good, stuff that's not. And you'll never find an artist, a painter, musician, everybody wants people to like their stuff. If they say they don't care about their audience, they're lying. People want people to say, I liked that. That's good. I'm going to tell my friends to go see that or listen to that or buy that band. Like, you know, there's nobody out there who's like, hey, man, I don't care if we play in front of 5 people or 1 million. Bullshit. Like,
I wonder how close the South Park boys are to getting, like, you know, when they're making their satire about Kathleen Kennedy and Disney. I wonder how much inside track they're getting from people in there that are quietly feeding them stuff, if any. Or it makes me wonder. Like, she must be nuts, man. I mean, you got to be crazy to produce these types of shows and not see some of like the blaring, like,
or
you know,
so
it's like these huge fissures. You know what I mean? Like it.
Well, how about they
she's
took
crying all the way to the bank?
How about they took a senior VP?
Yeah, well,
they took Rain Roberts, who was the lead for when who's the crazy chick that did Acolyte? Leslie Headland.
Yeah, oh God.
Remember how Kathy Kennedy said, well, Leslie Headland came to me and I said, you wrote a good Star Wars story. Now write me a good Leslie Headland story. That's Kathy Kennedy's words. And we found out after the fact that Rain Roberts, who was a senior VP at Lucasfilm, sat down with Leslie Headland and said, okay, let's work on your story. Like, let's incorporate that. And that's why we got the 2 twins and the trauma and all this stuff. Like, that's why we got all that, right? Rain Roberts spearheaded that. She was with her at the red carpet, the premiere. So she's a pivotal part of all the shift that Lucasfilm made towards let's take the male characters and we want to strip them down and build up female characters to basically reconstruct patriarchy, right? That's what they were doing. And so she's gone now. She left during Christmas time, and Lucasfilm didn't make any announcements, nothing. And all of a sudden you look up and people start to realize, because the internet content creators, they do this stuff, right? They got online and said, wait a minute, her picture's not on the website anymore for Lucasfilm. And then they see, oh, they hired the guy who did the X-Men movies to replace her. No announcement. Like, that's a little,
People won't notice.
So yeah, like that's, people go, well, it's still, Kathy's still there, Filoni, so it's still going to be garbage. Yes. But that's a little bit of a tell, the fact that Rain Roberts is gone and that it's been 13 years, and every time Kathy's contract came up for renewal, we had an announcement within 60 days. Her contract was up in October. We've heard nothing. It's about to be March. And I think this weekend she's getting, y'all could check online. Isn't she getting that award this weekend?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know.
She's getting that. She's getting that
next-
lifetime.
So what do you, Sean, what do you think's going to happen? Like, are they going to make an announcement if she leaves, if that's what you're alluding to, that she's just going to walk out, she's going to get this award thing, and then just, you know, and a couple months will go by, and, you know, on the website they'll show new CEO or whatever of
She's gonna
Lucasfilm.
just fade out.
Yeah.
Look, I mean,
Are they going to fade her out?
you know, they were planting all these stories 6 months ago that she just wanted to go out on a win. Remember that? Every one of the trades ran with that. She wants to exit gracefully with a win under her belt. Well, then Skeleton Crew came out and
She's gonna
it
be here
never
a
cracked
while.
the top 10.
I
Yeah.
love Skeleton Crew.
Didn't
I
even
thought
place
that
on
was a
Nielsen.
fun show.
Well-
Absolutely loved it.
And John, here's the thing. Skeleton Crew, I didn't watch it, whether it's good, not good, or for kids or not. The fact that they put out all these series before Skeleton Crew that were garbage.
Yeah, I think that really hurt it.
Of course it did. I mean, you came out with a show before you did a kid's show. You came out with a show before that, an Acolyte, that had 2 women married with each other, and one of them gives birth to twins, but we don't know how they were created. So they, like, oh, well, the dark side, or we're like, so you don't want kids watching that because that's totally confusing. And then you turn around and go, hey, well, now we have a kid's show coming out. Well, that makes no sense. Like, the strategy around that, it's bad business. And so I think Kathy, until they say otherwise, I think they pay her monthly, right? She gets a direct deposit monthly for her salary. Divide it by 12 months. If they pay her $10 million a year, whatever they pay her, she gets that each month, right? So if she doesn't have a contract, then she's going month to month at her current rate, unless she has it written into the contract. And I don't know if anybody's ever seen it publicly, but she could have it written in a contract that if we can't come to an agreement on an extension and a renewal, and I stay on month to month, you owe me 20% more than my rate under contract. I don't know what our contract states, but if it doesn't state that, then they would just continue to pay her going salary monthly until she steps down. So I think that I don't know that they'll make an announcement, but I don't think there's going to be a replacement for Kathy Kennedy. I think they're streamlining. And so I think whether it's Jimmy Pitaro or who's the other guy that runs the film division, they'll have, I think of that guy's name.
Can't remember his name.
But they'll just say, look, why do we need a CEO of Lucasfilm? We don't. We have the creatives, and they report up to the Disney hierarchy. That's what they're going to do.
So that's their way of, like, as Kathleen's exit is, it's a perfect cover also because we're streamlining anyways. So there is no replacement. So she doesn't have the embarrassment of being replaced.
Yeah, it's David Greenbaum is the president of Disney Live Action and 20th Century Fox. He was named to the role in February of 2024, replacing Sean Bailey. So why would you have a Kathy Kennedy when you don't replace her with someone else? You just go, hey, you guys are reporting to David. You know, if we hire a director or whatever,
that would make sense.
You streamline it. You know, there's no need for a Kathy Kennedy.
Yeah.
And so you know,
and lower
will they drop
Disney Plus by $1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so it's and again, I don't know how much longer is Kevin Feige going to be at Marvel? I mean, he's been seen as maybe safer than her, but I mean, yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine made a lot of money, but he had 5-6 losers before that. Now it looks like Brave New World's going to be a loser. Thunderbolts is going to be a loser.
Wasn't he supposed to make a Star Wars movie too?
Supposedly, yeah, his name was attached to one, but I think it was just rumored.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No.
All right,
No,
fellas and ladies, I got to go to bed here. I'm about
Okay, Garen.
for my bedtime.
You're an old man.
I am old, man. I've been up since 4, though. So,
Oh.
well, Stephen, thank you very, very, very much for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for inviting
Yeah,
me,
thanks
John.
for coming on.
I try.
Yeah,
to
thanks for being here.
every Friday. So,
Oh, okay. And I subscribed to your channel earlier.
and
It's funny because I don't really subscribe to YouTube channels, or I'm like Mike. It's like, you know, he's talking about earlier, like, I don't listen to podcasts. I don't listen to podcasts either. When
Yeah.
someone said when he first announced on the IC that, you know, Star Wars Theory is coming, I'm like, what's that?
Yeah.
So
Really?
I'm not hip on the podcast and the streams and things like that. So no, this is a great experience.
No, well, thank you. Yeah, but usually around 6 o'clock on Fridays we try to, and you have to come back for Megan because that's a whole nother
That's
level.
a whole nother Paul Worms.
Yeah.
It's just
So I expect to see everybody bright and shiny at ICC Con.
Absolutely.
in May.
Be there.
Absolutely. All right. Well,
I
thanks, you
can't-
guys.
I can't imagine what other guest stars are going to be announced in the time being.
Like I said, that's never been my thing. I don't even watch behind the scenes stuff. I don't like the magic taken away from me.
Well, we're
Jeez, John.
Like Brandon Wayne, I'm excited to see him only because, well, that's John Wayne's grandson. Yeah, I want to shake his hand. Absolutely.
Well, next week we'll be talking about that show.
Andor?
House of
David.
David.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that next week? Oh, you said that, didn't
The
you?
27th.
Out on the 27th.
Yep.
Excellent.
What's that going to be on?
When's Andor
Amazon
2
Prime.
coming?
Okay, Amazon Prime.
Yep, it's on
It
Amazon.
does look
Prime.
good. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah,
didn't
I
watch
mean,
it.
trailer makes it look pretty good.
Well, I just saw one thing that came out. Is it on Amazon Prime? I've seen the previews for it before the trailer. Elevation with Anthony Mackie, who plays,
Oh yeah, yep.
plays a Falcon, and then now Captain America. I really like him as an actor, so I wanted to check out that movie.
Now, is David a movie or is that a series?
It's a 8-episode series.
Oh, nice.
Hey, watch a movie that just came out on. I think they said it's the most watched movie on Apple TV called The Gorge.
The Gorge. Yeah, I want to watch that this weekend.
The ending kind of didn't quite totally stick the landing,
Yeah.
but the premise was really, really cool. I'm not going to say another word about it.
Don't ruin
just
it. I want to
go in
watch
blind and not knowing anything about it. It's got Miles Teller and Anna Taylor-Joy,
it. Yep.
and just start from scratch. Don't read anything about it, and then you guys talk about it after y'all watch it.
The Gorge. That sounds like me at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. Next week, it's supposed to warm up here, so I'm going to open up the upstairs. I'll be in my Star Wars room next week, hopefully.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
All right.
Night.
We'll
See you
talk
all.
to you later. Bye.
Goodbye.